Look at this. With the music in the background at the same time. Do, 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 do. Best boy looking quite serene and angelic. I think this might be a contender for the best one when we do the votes at the end. Thank you, Keith. I think we'll be done this week and then you will be free. You'll finally be free. Alright, so we have this. This is apparently very important to Assistant Weeby. Alright, authority, challenge. Make Joe change Kim's icon to Pickle Kim. Alright. Alright, are we gonna pass? Are we gonna pass? Let's see. There's a follow-up. There's a follow-up. Alright. Challenging success. Joe has no authority here. Talk directly to chat and he will have no choice. Assistant Ayaya, put on your best impression of Pickle Nagito. Hey chat, I know Kim is amazing and all that, but wouldn't he be even better if you added a little bit of hope in there? Half-Life success. Just tell him, do it or no balls. Wait, ain't that bad? The eternal weeaboo. Sire, both Joseph and chat cannot resist the allure of polls. Play it up, pretend you're giving them a choice. This is it, the final battle. Pull it up, Jojo. Let the chat decide. Hope against despair. Pickle Kim against basic Kim. And then check, success. With an extra one on this 7-sided dice. 11037. Huh. What could it mean? What could it mean? I don't think we need to do a poll. I like it. I think we can replace Kim with Pickle Kim. But that's fine. Well done, Weeby. Well done. It had four real in it too. 4 real. Nice. There you go. Ooh, transparent background too. There's Waifu Joe 2.0. This is your first stream, then I'm sorry, but hey, look on the bright side, it's also your last stream, so this is the only time you ever have to see this and be so confused. If this is not your first stream, but you are somewhat new, Waifu Joe is an old meme on the stream. I don't know where it came from. There was also Lolly Joe, which we banned, I think. Lolly Joe is illegal, because lollies are fucking weird. But yeah, there was Waifu Joe, and this is Waifu Joe 2.0, because this is my life now. Ah, thank you, Waffle Honk. Thank you for making us all uncomfortable. I swear I'm not a furry, from the author of I Swear I'm Not a Weeb. Alright, let's see if we can make something happen in the game. And I think we're trying to dance, right? And we couldn't do it.
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
We need more composure.
A better deal! Yeah! Medium car!
Well, that was a crazy sound we heard before. Yeah, it was awesome and scary, very hardcore. His voice booms through the chamber, then gets silent. Too hardcore, in fact. He brushes his hand through his hair. I couldn't control it at all. What happened? It sucks up all the air in the mix until it's the only thing left. It starts compressing itself and everything around it. Completely fills up the headspace. Extreme. What if this is the answer to Van Eyck's jam? We could use the sound for the bass. Oh, his puzzled face turns into a wicked grin. But how? What about the compressor, the one with the spiky What about the compressor, the one with the spiky hair was setting up to achieve some sort of parallel processing? The audio onslaught can be tamed. Connect the dots. Oh man, we need interfacing. How is this interfacing? I've thought about the discarded melody and came to the conclusion that Van Eyck has lived around here. J'adore! He turns a knob on his mixer. God is close by, but maybe he doesn't have a good enough ears. Let me turn it up so we can lure him here. Alright, so we need interfacing. We're due for a win, and that's how numbers work, right? That's how probability works. Alright, interfacing is... Do we have interfacing gloves? I think that's all the interfacing we have is those gloves, right? You think I would have learned this by now, but nope. Nope. Oh, we have composure on our boots. God damn it, that would have helped. Someone noticed that last stream and was actually really mad. Alright, let's quick save.
A better deal! Yeah!
20%. How can we
car.
lose? Apparently we lost. We lost. Bzz, bzz, bzz goes the track in the background, never ending. You can't grasp what's missing, but you can try to make something up anyway. Just make it up. No way the speech freak can tell the difference. Whereof one cannot speak, one ought to remain silent. Number 1. You scrape the moldy recesses of your brain for some technological sounding jargon. It'll impress the large-headed speed freak. Isn't that what real artists do? Make it up as they go along, exactly. You should crank up the oscillator matrix. Dude, you gotta reroute the sound juice through the fluxifier. I don't know the technical term, but it needs less bzz bzz. Yeah. Yog! Pump off the bzz bzz. Oh. Oh, that didn't work? It's hard to say for sure, but the digital throbbing seems ever so slightly louder than before. Okay. So can we dance now?
Oh, hey, man.
No. Okay, I think we're running out of skill points, aren't we? We only have 4 skill points. Finish the Van Eyck. Thought we already did. Reveals are no Van Eyck gig posters in the world. Should we go and try and find those? Remember, it was supposed to unlock our motive things, but it didn't. Running out. Yeah, we're running out. Like, we only have 4, and we're gonna fail these checks a bunch more times. Can we even level up interfacing? Nope. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
A better deal! Yeah!
Is it Reddit time?
Medium car.
Is this worth it? For the sake of the stream, I will be a Redditor. Yes, it is. God damn it. God damn it. I better get some upvotes for this.
A better deal! Yeah! Medium.
I apologize if you guys can hear Elmo.
Yeah! Medium car.
Damn. Damn, first try. Side-chan the beat. Side-chan? What does it even mean? Listen, you can use the compressor to select between which track it's compressing, either the auxiliary signal or the main input from the tape. Make it alternate between the signals. The compressor controls the gain based on the level of the signal on the aux side chain input. It will allow maintaining a loud sound without peaks that fill up all the headspace. Okay, Egg, you need to start side chaining it. Explain the concept to him. Side chaining it, you said? He turns down the music, his hands moving deftly across the mixer, setting up the necessary controls. Then he puts on his headphones. I feel really dirty right now, and his hands go wide, wider than they've ever gone on drugs. Alright, he starts jumping up and down with bliss and total silence, still listening to his headphones. Hey, a seal looks up from her microphone. What did you do to Egghead, Cop Man? Did you break him? I'm not sure. Just wait and see. Are you ready, posse? Noid straightens his back, ready for the beat. I was born ready, Egg. Give him a thumbs up. The audio assault is glorious and exactly the same as it was before. The speed freak dances on the stage, intensely waving his hand in the air. Make Van Eyck's jam harder core. This is beauty, this is life. What in the world is going on? Asil looks on amazed at the display. The way melody and bass flow together, it's unnatural. This one is for the ANeDe generation. We have tamed the sound, made it our own. God damn it, you hear Andre say to himself with a thumping beat, this dance club idea might just work out. DeLorean Church, the place to be. Egg's losing himself in the sound. Pump it, pump it. This is it. This is a new era. The fabric of the world has been irrevocably altered. Irrevocably or irrevocably. I think both are correct, aren't they? Who will be the innocence of hardcore ANeDe music? Probably Egghead for sure. All right, can we dance now?
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
Alright, let's save it in case we die, but I think we have enough skill points that we don't need to Reddit this one up. To be clear, if we could level it up, I wouldn't have Reddited it. To be clear. To be fair.
Hey,
Alright, 58%. How can we lose? Fucking hell. Is that failure number 4? Okay, here's why I feel justified in the reload, actually. Because the game glitched out and didn't give us this, let this unlock. So, really, the game owed us one, alright? Those reloads were us, like, using all of these white check unlocks we were supposed to get that didn't happen. There you go.
Oh, hey man.
Actually
it's good
fair.
to see you.
Actually fair. Not a Redditor. No downvotes. Don't downvote me. Be a kind stranger. Are you...
Oh, hey man. It's good to see you.
Hooray! You close your eyes and vacate your skull, leaving your brain to wonder. Where did that little fluttering light go? Total darkness. You sink down...
Total darkness. You sink down the darkest fathoms of your own personal deep. Vertebrate by vertebrate. Through the unformed skulls of your mind. Here it will begin.
Where did the church go? Where did the music go? What was that about unformed skulls? Where did the church...
Who fucking cares?
Good, I'm scared. I hate waking life. I hate this world. I hate and fear everything. All I want to do is dance. Please, God, just let me dance.
God?
God?
Where is your God?
Where did the music go?
Oh, don't worry. The music's still there. It's you who is gone.
No, really, why can't I hear anything?
This is a pivotal moment. Try not to piss yourself.
Concentrate on hearing.
Nothing. Just the immaculate silence of your spinal fluid. Electrified.
This feels like the end. It comes to you like a blue whale. You sense it stir the tranquility of the deep, a single note of bass passing through. Then it's gone. Back to El Silencio. That sounded really cool.
This is where the beat plunged. It will resurface soon. Brace for glory.
What was that about unformed skulls?
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Every
voice.
vertebrae in your spine is an unformed skull ready to pop up and replace the old one. Like shark teeth. The one you're currently in has a little brain forming in it, waiting for its turn. To rule the world.
Oh my god, is that true? As it ought to be. Where is it? Who are you? Oh my god, is that true?
Yes, it's all true. In the spinal cord.
What do you want? What is happening? I'm ready. What do you want?
From what I can see, it's about to bust a move.
Oh, fuck yeah, bust a move.
Foolhardy! Do you even know what's happening on the surface? Maybe 1,000 years have passed. Or maybe you started spazzing out like 2 seconds ago.
With your eyes still closed, the first thing you feel all the way back in the pivotal darkness of your own torso is warmth. You have become a triumph of rhythmoplastics. Somewhere in a smelly wooden church on the coast of Revachol, the wounds from the war you've waged on your body are healing, twist by twist, turn by turn. You must have touched upon an entirely new way of moving the human body. Every motion is pumping your brain full of endorphins. Open your eyes to the pioneering glory of hard style. Open your eyes and dance like you've never danced before. I hope Kim likes it. Oh, look at this go. Do you think that Kim would enable a... Nah, no way. You have become a flawless interlocking mechanism, a flesh and bone approximation of the throb coming from the speaker setup of the one called Eggheads, entirely, rigidly imbecilic, without pity or fear. Free from self-awareness, no deliberation only, and I mean only, execution. Oh my god, the speed freaks would-be leader stands slack-jawed in disbelief at the hardcoreness on display. He whispers to himself, no way, yes way, this is really happening, yes way. With his reel-to-reel mixer blasting, for real? The anthem of a future that will never come, the young man observes your moves for a second, then blasts into the same hideous pattern, yelling, ah! He throws a screwdriver and a bunch of drill chucks into the corner and explodes into dance. What he lacks in sharpness, he more than makes up for in violent enthusiasm. Turn to a seal. What are you doing? Dance, pointed Andre. It's the law. Kim, get in here. Coughlin intended to join. Yeah, Kim. What's going on here? Lieutenant looks at you and the speed freaks grinding around in the church. A group of unhinged lunatics, delinquents, he grumbles. This is clearly a Code 31 emergency. Say to yourself, on second thought, maybe I don't need to involve Lieutenant in this pioneering dance-off. I said get in here and dance. Code 31, Code 31. Lieutenant squeezes the bridge of his nose, light reflects off his glasses. He's obviously having trouble adjusting to this new reality. A Code 31 emergency? Really? Yes, officer. In need of assistance. On the dance floor. It's not really an emergency, Kim. I lied. I'm sorry, Kim. I thought it would be funny to call it the Code 31. I didn't even know it was a real code. Yes, officer. In need of assistance. Lieutenant crosses his arms with a bemused look. What's happening? The lieutenant is forced to yell over the futuristic music blasting on the speakers. I'm undercover. I'm not doing anything. The music made its mind up a long time ago. I'm just implementing. Help, Kim. I think I'm turning into some kind of a hyperstar. Hyperstar. I'm sorry. I know this looks crazy, but it feels too good to stop. Alright, so there's sorry cop, superstar cop, crazy cop. I'm not doing anything, art cop. Good for you. He looks around the church hall. Rock on then. Somehow you manage to hear him sigh. Hey, I called you to dance. We ain't going anywhere before we tear shit up. Hey, I called you to dance. What? 97. I did say there was an emergency on the dance floor, did I not? The emergency? Not enough, Kim. Alright, 97. We can't lose. It's 97. It's 97. We can't lose. It's a red check. Who's the one in charge? You are. Lieutenant, I am only going to pull rank on you one time, and that time is now. Are you kidding me? I assure you, I am not. Now get your groove on, Lieutenant. It's all a joke to you, isn't it? Chain of command. Joke. Future of dance. Joke. Well, no more. Cut a rug, Lieutenant. Let's go with that one. What? Lieutenant leans closer, unable to make out your words over the pumping beats. Cut a what? I said cut a goddamn rug, Lieutenant. Boogie woogie. Sheesh, okay. He backs up with his hands raised in the air, observing the crisscross of your feet. Okay, you psychopath. He adjusts his spectacles and pops his collar as high as it will go. I see what you're doing there. It's jacked up footwork plus some. Is that Ubi folk dancing? Folk dancing? Nah, it's not Ubi folk. It's hardcore. Yeah, Lieutenant snorts. Whatever. You talk a big talk, Lieutenant. Let's see some moves. Oh yeah? I did 15 years in the juvenile crime unit. I can do age inappropriate. Now check this shit out. Oh, Kim's in! What the fuck? Damn, look at him go! Lieutenant begins to heel kick the church floor with such intensity it's reasonable to fear he'll kick a hole right through it, causing the floor to crack and the pillars to collapse, bringing the church roof down on you. Down on all of you. It doesn't look like he'd give a shit either. Turn to a seal. What are you doing? This the best moment in the game? Dancing with Kim? The young woman lifts her headphones up slightly and raises her chin, looking at you expectantly. She cuts in before you can repeat your question. A seal, aren't you going to dance? She turns to Suna, then back to you, then briskly shakes her head and puts her headphones back on. No, recording. Lead programmer throws the other young woman a knowing glance before turning her attention back to at her own work. She's still at her mainframe pressing buttons, reading printouts, but she started nodding her head along to the music. Dance, pointed at Andre. It's the law. That was easy. The young man immediately bounces up and down, then assumes the same dance pattern, embellishing it with some sort of waving motion. The authority of the law. Clearly unquestionable. Is clearly unquestionable. Is there any more I can do? I want to break the limit. The dynamic motion of your flailing body is bordering on the extreme. You're going off the charts. You feel as if turning on the hyperdrive will be a point of no return. Feels almost melancholy. Are you sure you have the entire posse along for this? Together, where are you? Here we go again. Hardcore fills the air. The sound above my hair. The what now? The lieutenant suddenly stops. The sound above your what? Above my hair, man. Okay, this is too imbecilic. Excuse me. Oh no! Oh no, another 97% check. Oh no, imagine if we failed right here. That would be awful. But there's no way we're gonna fail. It's 97. Surprisingly close! On the coast of the Martinez Inlet, in a small weather-beaten stave church built 380 years ago by settlers from the Occident, most likely to guard against an anomaly at its center, an officer of the RCM is contorting his body into idiot rigid shapes as he invents the future of dance music. It's the hardest anyone has ever danced. What is the strange feeling I keep having this cold even now? Holy, what are you talking about? I don't idiotically. I don't think I've ever seen idiotically written out like that. Sorry. What? I don't think I have. You guys shame me. You guys shame me. No, I don't think I've ever seen it written out like idiotically. I don't think I've ever seen it used that way. You guys fucking shame me so much for never seeing words in certain ways before. Like, I'm supposed to know every single fucking word. You read that idiotically, Joe? Yeah, I did. Yeah. I am La Riva Chollery. I am the city. What do you mean you are the city? How are you talking to me? What do you mean you are the city? I am a fragment of the world spirit, the genius Loki of Revachol. My heart is the wind corridor. The bottom of my air is red. I have 100,000 luminous arms. Come morning, I carry industrial dust and let it settle on the tree leaves. I shake the dust from those leaves and onto your coat. How else would you? I'm not criticizing how it's written. I'm just saying I've never seen idiotically. I don't think I've ever seen it. I've seen idiot, obviously, but I don't think I've seen idiotically. I just haven't seen it. I've seen you with her, and I've seen you without her. I've seen you on the crescent of the hill. How are you talking to me? The modulations of my voice are noted down with thermometers and barometers. You feel me in your nostrils, on the little hairs on the back of your neck. I also reside in your lungs and vestigial organs. Everywhere there is space. But who am I? Why are you talking to me? You are an officer of the Citizens Militia, agency in Rebus? When you wear your coat, you wear my soul. You move through my streets freely in motor carriages and on foot. You have access to the hidden places. You also circulate among those who are hidden. I need you. You can keep me on this earth. Be vigilant. I love you. An officer of the RCM is lying on the floor of a small church with his eyes rolled back and his tongue lolling out. Several others are standing around him. He slowly comes to. That was weird. Had a good rest there. I spoke to the city of Revachol. I don't know about good. I spoke to the city of Revachol. Fuck yeah. I bet you did. Those were some advanced moves, man. That's all great, but we should really get going. We spent enough time doing aerobic exercise for today. Get up. You might be imagining, but it feels like Egghead turned the volume down. Such is his respect. Man, now. The would-be leader stutters with excitement. Now imagine if we could do that, right? But with like 1,000 people. End of human development, mission complete. Right, ecstatic. I wouldn't go that far. Yes, my mission here is complete. Right, ecstatic. Alright. You're obviously beat, muscles relaxed, and feet like noodles underneath. Goodbye, officer. Alright, that was pretty cool. We got to dance with Kim. The game gets a whole other point on the 5 out of 7 scale for recognizing that Kim is best boy.
Yo, man, what's on your mind?
Why are you so suspicious about everything? Suspicious people are esoteric people. We don't go around spilling everything to Johnny Law. They don't call me Noid for nothing. We took a setting out for this whole enterprise to get our signs synced. Why are you called Noid anyway? It's short for paranoid. May I ask why? What good is being suspicious? A reasonable question. Say I get hurt, I want to make sure it never happens again, so I analyze the situation, exercise caution. Caution is suspicion. What are you suspicious of? Oh, it'd be easier to list stuff I'm not suspicious of. I'm not suspicious of sound and color. Mechanics and chemistry also have a trueness about them. Most anything else deceives, wants to steal your life away. This is a good dangerous line of questioning. You should prod him on. What are the most suspicious things? I don't have a top 10 list of things I'm most suspicious of, but if I had one, the left-right complex would be number 1. Number 2 would be their sole accomplishment, the pig-wheat paradigm. Something is off here. You feel like it should be the other way around. Don't you mean the left-right paradigm and the pig-wheat complex? Nope, politics is an inert complex of daily corruption and inane think pieces. The real paradigm is economic and it concerns pig and wheat. This is where the innovation happens. It's only a theory, but I suspect they're breeding a pig-wheat hybrid, probably in grad. What? Tell me more about the left-right business. I prefer not to. Both ask the wrong questions. Any spark of light from either one is accidental. Their combined movements' only concern is producing enough pig and wheat for everyone, the end goal of humanity. The original mistake was assuming that words have more being than bodies. That's what led us astray, far from our true lives, but we may yet find a way back. Whatever this true life is, you feel it's the real centerpiece of this mythology. What's suspicious about the production of pork and wheat? It's our only shit, he shrugs. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal grain ourselves. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal grain ourselves. What's bad about cereal grain? Having enough food could be a precursor for greater things. What's bad about animals? Animals are cute. Okay, number 1. Yes, having food is a means to an end, but the left never talks about the end, only the means. Caps are likewise suckers, constantly sleepless and worry. You dirty centrist. Does this mean you are mentally ill? Mental illness is a term the powers use to homogenize people. I think I don't reach mental illness. I am merely politically ill, a suspicious element. Well, that was certainly stimulating. I want to ask you about something else now. What's with the clothes? Why does this guy have 5 times as much dialogue options than everyone else in here? He shrugs. They're hardcore. You look like a woman with those earrings. That's it? Okay. That's it? They're just clothes. Are they? They look outlandish. It's just a style, you know, normal hard style. Anyone can wear it. Alright, let's leave. Could this be the boy Classy I told you about? Boy? Metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first it just looks like trash, but if you look closer, that over there, he points to a strange looking object, must be the boy Classy told us about. The one she hid her passport in. We should take a look. Ooh, hidden things, secrets, lies. Pick up the boy. You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied or to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut. Examine the plastic ball. Number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it closed, but only just barely. The brittle middle of the latch has cracked. Simple construction, very unsafe. Shake the boy. There's something in there, splashing around. Sniff the boy. It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop, and decay. The water this side of the peninsula is cleaner, actually. It smells a little salty. Open the boy. Shot glasses worth of seawater pours out, some algae and nothing else. Well, damn. We're lucky it's still here. A little longer and it would have floated away. Lieutenant flashes a mirthless half smile. We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore. No documents. You think took them? I have no idea. Lieutenant taps his foot, frowning. Didn't the lawyer say she was going to walk up the coast? This is a minor quirk. We know it was in the boy anyway. He purses his lips. Or think we do. This is a small loose end either way. Not important, I hope. It must have been Classia's enemies, which means she's in danger. Maybe Classia took them herself. Could this be related to the cryptozoologists and their little expedition? In my experience, cryptids are generally interested in travel documentation. He sighs. We should go. You could ask the miss what she thinks later if you have the time. Though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point. The miss? I mean, if that means Classia, like, we can't, because she's done. I don't think she's coming back. Really? Where on the boardwalk was the shot fired from, then? Or the potential one? Check the boardwalk for bullet traces. Isn't this part of the boardwalk? Where the body was? We looked there already, and nothing popped up there. Maybe I missed it. So is Kim one of the best sidekicks ever? Do you actually believe that? I'm not sure. I have to think about it and see about like other potential sidekicks and stuff. But he's definitely one of the most helpful. Like he's unreasonably, almost impossibly good. You know, like a good person. A good person doesn't always make a good sidekick. Will you make a review of this game? Probably not. No. There's always a chance, but probably not. Okay, it was one of the shots from the bunker. Did we already do this one? Check island for bullet traces. How do we get to the island? What island? Was the island up northeast from here? Maybe we talk to Joyce and we can use her boat, or maybe we talk to that woman we hit on a bunch of times. Okay, so there's nothing down here. How do we get up there? What? Ooh.
Hello again.
No. I don't understand what to do here, chat. Sorry. I'm confused. Okay, let's pick something else to do instead. Let's talk to the jolly Mesca guy. Hold on, can we use your boat to get to an island?
Aye, the sea's gonna come.
Nope. The wind is corralled by the 4-story buildings around this yard. Okay, I think it's this guy's the Mesca, right? The jolly Mesca guy? Mesky? Odd that you didn't catch this graffito earlier. Van Eyck Overdrive, it says.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
The Weasel I visited, turns out he has one hell of a colonial mug collection. Yeah, he nods, rubbing his chin. The janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. Yes, his mug collection certainly represented antiquated social values. See how we're all busy concentrating on the racist mugs? That's what the ruling class wants. Yeah, it would be really bad if we got into an argument about it. Waste of a good noon or afternoon or night. He looks around, oblivious suddenly. Anyway, thanks for helping out, friend. How's it going, Lily?
Okay.
How's everyone doing?
They're fine. Well, Jana just threw up, but other than that,
Oh, okay.
everyone else is good.
Is she alright?
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay. Kuno told me you were supposed to know about the armor. He smiles. The little boya did good on his promise. His promise? To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words, not mine. What happened? I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official union probe. You know, track it down, see who took it. Did you? At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. But buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He got eyes everywhere, the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. He smiles. One bad move is all it takes. So Kuno used us? Used us to what? Scare you? It's a minor nuisance. It's all good. He contemplates taking a swig from his flask. He thinks, not yet. Better to get this business out of the way. Sweeter then. The probe into the armor. What did you learn? I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man about some armor. What else? Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part. What sort of technical stuff? I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library, he explains with a wry smile. I didn't get into the material of science, just how it comes off. How does it come off? In parts, 4 total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were stolen. The guy last I saw, too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia. Well, we have the cuirass. We don't have the gauntlets, right? And the boots we're never going to get because the body's been taken away. 4 pieces of armor up for grabs then, but I already sent the boots away. Yeah. The jolly man shrugs. I guess we'd be collecting them all then. That's less work for you at least. Hold up, 4 pieces? Helmet, cuirass, gauntlets, boots. What about the leggings? Oh, they're just they're just gone. They don't exist anymore. If they ever did at all. He gives you a jolly shrug. Forget about them. I did. Actually, I may have better things to do. I agree, officer. Let's focus on the hanging, and later some junior officers can take care of the rest. Nice. The mustache man nods in approval. From what I learned, it was very heavy, boring set of armor. Eh? Thank you for the cooperation, sir. No problem. He finally takes a swig from the flask. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way. He is sincerely grateful. He is not tracking down pieces of armor right now. Alright. Cool. Okay, let's see if we can solve this traffic jam thing. I feel like I'm going to be hearing this sound in my sleep for the rest of my life.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's
Oh,
up?
we need to put a spec into conceptualization for that. I heard one of the drivers is a woman, but I don't think she's here. Do you know this lady driver? She shifts around, suddenly uncomfortable, and looks away. I don't want to talk about that. Why? Do you know something? What is it? I don't mean to pry, but I need your help. She may be involved in the drug business. Okay, let's change the subject then. Why? Do you know something? What is it? Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be here. I was hoping it isn't going to be her. He bites his lip. All I can say is she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker, and I don't know where she is. I asked you who's conducting the drug trade. You said you didn't know. Now you're saying you do. I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her, that she wouldn't be mixed up in it. He still is hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his part, not trickery. It's true. We would have caught a lie, but a kind heart is tricky. Bah, emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact. Who is this person? What's her name? Thank God Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. She kept her name a secret from me too. Now I see why. Who is she to you? A friend? An acquaintance? I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? What does she look like? A youngish woman, gruff, but in a cool way. What color hair? Blue and violet, dyed. He answers reluctantly. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went. Then she may have dyed it again. When did she leave? Damn, I don't wanna. He looks you straight in the eye. Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person, I know that much. We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation. That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. He shakes his head. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience. It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only. I don't believe you. Believe us, it really is. I just can't, man. I'm not naive. You said she's troubled. How? She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over and you're looking for a way out. She shared this with you? Yes, which is why I don't want to snitch on her. It's not snitching, it's just a few questions. Come on, man. Life is just a joke. I was told everyone's afraid of her. You're not? I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life, but I wasn't afraid of her, more like for her. Did this violent life include drug trafficking? Well, he sighs. It looks like it did now, but we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know. She talked about her mind. Hold on. Her mind? The way it worked, the trouble it was giving her. When she left, did she leave her Lorry behind? Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out. Wait, this guy says they're friends and acquaintances, and he's okay with others ratting her out? Push Tommy, and it will break his heart and his spirit. Don't expect to be pals. So you're alright with others ratting her out, you just don't want to get your hands dirty. Put yourself in my shoes. I need this for another investigation too. It's important. I can't blow it. She's a suspect and I need you to tell me where she is or I can't finish the investigation. Force. Fine, I will drop it for now. Number 1. Fine, I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too. Put yourself in my shoes. You're not gonna put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man. Force. I thought you were a different kind of cop. Something breaks in him as he stares into your eyes. The realization that you've used his friendliness and goodwill for your own ends. Remember, you're doing it for the bigger investigation. This is important. Relax. Ask. Where is the lady driver? Here. He takes a keyring from his pocket, then looks at it before giving it to you in silence. The keys to a motor lorry. Pretty complex. Looks like a chain lock. Then he gives them to you. Her lorry is still there, down past the statue of Philip. He waves toward the monument. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these, that's all I know. When did she leave? Last Friday. He blinks, his eyes half empty now. Anything else, like where she is now? No, I don't know. Why did you have the keys? She left them to me because she trusted me, so I can get it out of the way when the jam breaks loose. Otherwise, he doesn't finish the sentence. The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get the machines moving. He nods. If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside, something incriminating. I'm sorry I had to do this. I bet you are. And he's sorry he couldn't be what he wants to be, a good person. His last line, his revenge on the world. One more thing about something else. Nah, I need to think my own thoughts now. Pray forgiveness for my sins. Go check your cabin. He adds quietly. I hope it gets you something. Help someone. Oh, now we can't do the arch. Oh, no, we can still do it.
It's the cop who turned me into a bad person.
Alright, let's ask him for some money. -6 forced him. Alright, can we add conceptualization to do this?
Oh, look. It's the cop who turned me into a bad person.
40. Wow, -6 really matters. Holy crap, we should have done this beforehand. Alright, well, let's just see if we get it. Nope. The green fallen AZ contemporane is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days. This is the one our man pointed to. The lieutenant peeks inside to try to peek in the window. The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and 2 steering levers. Posters cover the small windows in the back. You can't make out what's on them. Try the door handle. The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. Unlock the door with the key. Push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. You can just Open it. A smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be. Admire the posters. There are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached above the back seat. I don't know that word. Sorry, chat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy with a hint of ambre wafting through the bitter air of the cabin. Stop and wonder, what's that smell? The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume. Probably granite. Number 8. Nah, it's lilac and gooseberries. Study the centerfold. The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. Wait, this actress really does look a lot like Glacia. She may have been right about this ruby after all. This is Poutium, a starlet from Dawn of Cinematography. The Dawn of Cinematography? Less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death. What happened to her? She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street. A mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world and the camera too. Enough of the posters. The actresses and the rare actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox is under the driver's seat. Examine the radio. Looks like the frequency dial is absent and requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver. Cam leads closer to the radio and hums. Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. It must be over 100 at least. Has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together. Why would anyone need so many radio stations? For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. He flicks a switch on the radio. This is all shortwave, UW, and UKV. Looks like we're dealing with an impressive organizational tool, the nerve center of a huge operation, with quite the range too. A 20-kilometer radius at least. Perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now. Is there anything else we can do with the radio? Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key. What else is here? The ghostly actress and the rusty toolbox. Okay. Check the pedals. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the fuel tools lying around here. A hammer. A pair of pliers, a rusty wrench have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip. Looks like the driver has glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip. Sandpaper, Lieutenant repeats, a novel technique. The sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right boot sole. Yes, he likes where this is going. Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself. One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other, which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. Lieutenant's eyes light up behind his prescription lens. Wait, Ruby? And she's also the one running the drug trade. What a handful. First the drug smuggling, now this. How deep does this rabbit hole go? Women, shake your head. Always up to something. Looks like her, yes. And she's also the one running the drug trade. What a handful. This looks like proof the missing eighth person at the lynching was Ruby. Do you think that Hardie and his boys could be also involved in drug operation? Those jerks, definitely. I think the entire union is involved. Maybe even entire Martinez look around suspiciously. Yeah, let's go with that. We should talk with Titus, see what he's got to say on the matter. He writes something down in his little notebook. Are we finished with the Lorry? The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and a faint smell of perfume is in the air. Peel off the cover of the passenger seat. Damn, I didn't think this was going to link back to the to Ruby. That's a cool detail. Voila! A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. Its rubber shell, some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen. Bon appris. Lieutenant commends you as you shift through the treasure, well worn and folded into neat squares. Fold open the topmost map. The large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881, high above the massive brown and red roofs that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield. Where does the road lead? to Coron through the middle-income neighborhoods there by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road. Fold open the second map. This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a subdistrict called the Pox, Old Military Hospital, right adjacent to the 41st Precinct. No storm will ever drown Revachol, the great solution to the riddle of history. Wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital, now just a ruin under an overgrown park. Beneath the hospital, great sewer tunnels hum and vibrate with life of their own. What is that sound? The rattle of the motor carriages and lorries driving through long-forgotten tunnels lit by gas lights. That's very romantic. Look at the third map. The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of motorway 8x81. A few routes have been marked with a pen where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Dranrock by the lake. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation beneath the motorway. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to the East Motor Tract. The smugglers have infiltrated the motor tract. So it would seem. The lieutenant examines the maps with a furrowed brow. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them. Where does the contraband end up? Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it. Besmerti? That sounds vaguely familiar. Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes, but really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. With cool names, he adds with contempt, like La Puta Madri and Ahura Mazda. It's a dark parody. Damn, like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Who do you think is behind this? It's definitely not the Union, they just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madri remains the most likely suspect. He's bad news. Kim removes his glasses and polishes them with a handkerchief. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved. Lieutenant Kitsuragi is a brave man for saying Madri's name without the winces and whispers that usually accompany it. Oh, thanks, Felician. Return the second papers under the seat. Lieutenant nods. Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick these up later. The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable. I'm surprised you even have forensics. The movie stars look silently by and the pull-out toolbox has a rubber handle worn from years of use. Pull out the pull-out toolbox. That is hard to say. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty except for a folded newspaper. Unfold the newspaper. It's an issue of Peripherique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. Pick up the note. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the ULAN frequency system. Lieutenant leans over your shoulder to examine the note. The ULAN frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but his thought trails off. Push in the pull-out toolbox. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. That's a mistake. The rest is another mistake. The rest is as it was. Posters, a radio, dust on the windows. I gotta say, like, the mistakes, like, I'm pointing them out, but they don't really bother me. Like, there's so much text, it's like, it's whatever. Like, I can live with it. I don't think there's ever been a mistake that's made something confusing and unclear. Like, they should be fixed, obviously, but it doesn't really bother me. Close the door. You close the rusty old lorry door. Great, I think we got everything. A word detective, he steps away from the lorry before we return to Joyce.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim? Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net. This means it's well-funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it. I'm not sure what the ULAN frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. Oh, and the maps we found, they reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardie Boys knew this driver, as we know she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for. The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find. Classia might have been right about Ruby. She looks awfully lot She looks awfully lot like one of... Okay, that's a little confusing. I think that's a mistake. An awfully lot like? Yeah. Perhaps you're right. He stops to think. This is one connection I find a little dubious, to be honest. I prefer not to profile people's emotions. Perhaps it's because I'm not very good at it, but still, aww. Actually, it's not bad at all. Yeah, Kim. Kim, you know how we feel about you. He just doesn't like flimsy connections, especially of this kind. So it turns out this is connected to the Union. Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically, but don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them to other ends as extra ammunition, and we'll deal with it in the sequel. Disco or Elysium are... Too disco for Elysium. Will the RCM open an investigation into this? We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we're done for the day, I'll call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation sometime later when we're done here. We do not want to get caught in that. He stops to think. What are you thinking? The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean, especially if the Marjorie grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. Corruption? He nods. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Okay, debrief over. Debrief over, he nods. After you. What capo type do you think Kim is? Superstar cop, clearly. Let's go talk to Kuno after the armor thing. Below the grime, a dark neon poster reads, Van Eyck, totally transcendent. We did this already, right? This was visual calculus? Yeah, just wanted to make sure. This is where I started off with my motor carriage before sinking it in the sea. No wonder the cafeteria manager seemed frustrated when he was giving us directions to the yard. Well, he gestures toward the gaping hole in the fence. You did provide us with a very convenient access point to the crime scene. Nice. All part of the plan. So our odd soul wasn't in the back of the whirling. I don't know. He inspects the odd soul more closely. They're about the same size, not the same boot, no, but they could be the same person. It still doesn't rule out Ruby. People change shoes after all, but this isn't an argument for her guilt either. No horizontal boot prints. Whoever walked in the Whirling's pinball workshop didn't walk here. No, these prints are pretty standard. The ones in the dust look custom, or maybe they're just a foreign design. It's a boot print, whatever the case.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
I talked to Mañana about the armor. So, he raises his eyebrows, projecting aggressive indifference. He told me you promised to sick the pigs on him. He said to thank you. Wasn't too keen on chasing down that armor anyway. He said you're now the king of the entire Jamrock? Yeah, so he doesn't understand. Kuno did sick the pigs on him. Kuno's a man of his word. Kuno sent your fat ass running around like Jello. Look, pig, he's suddenly all business. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. Good idea. I will remember this, Kuno. You got fucked, he repeats. You got fucked, pig. Fuck bad. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the fuck out of here, griefing the Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face. Yeah, real interesting. And I'm getting the impression that Kuno doesn't care. Or does he? That's true. Maybe he does care. Maybe he does care. I think I found the actual source of the curse. You mean the curse that I'm spared of because I live outside its immediate reach? Yes, well, about that. It's a bit more complicated than I first thought it would be. I'm listening. She leans back in her chair, arms crossed across her chest. Just say it. There's a 2mm hole in reality located in a church on the other side of the canal, and I think it may be related to the Pale. Excuse me? She sits up, visibly agitated. A 2mm hole in reality? This can't be true. I'm afraid it is, ma'am. Suna Lukanen Kilda, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident, made the discovery. Suna's involved in this. She appears to take this in while the chatter from her headphones continues unabated. So it's even worse than I thought. It's not just the commercial area that's cursed, it's the entire world. She looks outside the window where daylight has filled the yard. What? No, I wouldn't go as far as to say that the entire world is doomed. Don't worry about it. You've been doing fine so far. I'm sure it's nothing. Just Martinet? She gives you a rueful smile and takes a look around. In any case, thank you for stopping by. It's good to have an answer, even if I can't claim to understand it fully. Nice. That was worth 10 XP. Almost as much as one conceptualization check. Wait. Physical instrument. It's time. It's time. We get another chance. Physical instrument. think we want the tank top on instead. All right, physical instrument. We can never level this up, right? Here we go. We're saving it. We're not save scumming this one though. 3%. 3%. If I win this, I get to add 1 million coins onto a yaya. Nope. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to smash through the back door. Fuck you, you stupid barbell. Weightlifting was never my favorite either. Lieutenant is obviously handling you. At the station gym, I prefer running. It clears your head. Lieutenant steps away from the barbell, letting you recover in peace.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
This Dick Mullen book fell apart before I got to the end. Do you have another copy? I'm very sorry, sir. Some of these old paperbacks just don't have the durability. I'd be happy to sell you another one, but unfortunately it's the last copy we had in stock. Alright, give me my money back then. Where's my money? Give me my money back. Placence, I have something to tell you. I've found the actual source of the doom. What do you mean the actual source? She clutches her pendant anxiously. I thought this issue was resolved. My investigation has let me discover a 2mm entropanetic hole in reality. That's the source of doom, both in the commercial area and in Martinez. A what? A tiny hole in reality. It may be connected with Pale, an origin point of sorts. It would explain why historically so many things have ended in failure here in Martinez. Ma'am, what he's telling is true. What he's telling is true. Telling you is true. We found an entropanetic anomaly in the small Pinewood church down the coast. I don't mean to be an alarmist, and more research is needed, but it's not looking good. But that's not any of my ancient texts. How am I supposed to protect my bookstore from that? Tell her the truth. It's out of her hands. You can't protect it, not against Pale. Close up the shop and try to get as far away from this thing as possible. You can protect it with hope. With hope? By refusing to give up. That's what people have done in the past, by building a church, a place of worship around this thing. You're right, officer. I mustn't lose faith, especially now that ANeDe is finally settling in at school and making friends. She looks at her daughter, quietly studying in the corner of the shop. No, we can't just leave. Besides, didn't I have some ceolite hope catchers around here somewhere? I must find them. Everything will be alright if I can just find them. Thank you for your help in any case. You're welcome back here anytime. Give up. You'll never find the answer. There's no other copy of Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. But why? Because that's how the world works. Some stories never get finished. You shouldn't expect there to be a tidy, satisfying ending. But what if you never find out how your story ends? There's got to be a way to solve this. There isn't. If only you had more time, more resources, who knows what you could have come up with. Maybe if there had been more money and less speed. Or more speed. Or that, yes. Either way, you might have been able to come up with an answer, but not like this. Hang on, you can do this. Use your imagination. You know who the suspects are. Just make it up. So who killed Charlie Spillane and Diana Dunove? Detective, just fucking pick one. It was Love did the men. The dirty police captain. The junkie art collector. The politician's twat son. Fuck you, book. It was Dick Mullen. It was Love did the men. Sure, yes, they died of an overabundance of love. Just loved each other to death. Couldn't get enough love, and now they're dead. Why not? Love gets a lot of people killed. Speaking of, aren't you a little close to the edge yourself, lover cop? Better lay off that love stuff if you can. Oh man, we're lover cop. Okay, I'm a lover cop now. I turned myself into a lover cop. A message has been carved on the wall. Trans Nation, Ike Nation. Ashes of the wood barely visible. Remember the rest is lost time. Oh, now we're never gonna remember. Could the shot have come from there, then entered the window upstairs or whirling in rags? Can you tell from this distance? I don't think it's possible. It's not. The details are blurry. There's water vapor in the way, and waves cut into the eyelet. Close to being done. I think as long as there's not one more, like another big area to go through, I think we can be done this week. An old poster hidden below the new ones. Arno van Eyck, 49. The Poutium. Sounds like an obscure live performance in a dirty underground bunker. Hey, Joyce.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I spoke with the Lorry men around about the roundabout. Yes, my eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? Wait, where exactly are these eyes located? It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this. One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely, that would give them a read on the entire quarter. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation. The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours. Let the lieutenant handle it. If there is an investigation, it will be a part of an ongoing operation subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand. Of course, detective, she says, her tone more cautious suddenly. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands. What was that about? A bloodbath? I've already heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike, but I need your testimony. What was that about a bloodbath? Yes, I'm afraid the strike may descend into a small-scale civil war with possible consequences for all of Revershall West. Since you're sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario. Then we're on the same page, as grim as it might be. Number 2. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor. As an insurance measure, they called it my security detail. A momentary lapse of faith. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer. Every worker? A member of the board, she nods. I tried to convince my employer it was simply an opening gambit, like you suggested, or a joke even. They did not appreciate the humor. Do you need a security detail? Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering. Who are they exactly? Krenel, an Oranganese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment. So what happened? The story is one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman. While he was drunk and separated from his unit, this allowed some of the more militant union members to subdue him. He was taken up behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. What then? Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Krenel contractors carry out their orders for now. For now? It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow. Oh, what if we're one of them and we just don't remember? What is the nature of this so-called investigation? Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants. Investigation upon investigation here in the Martinez is racing towards some dark deadline. You've made a mess here, I have to say. This is not disco. Maybe the investigations can team up, share resources and intelligence. Too many investigations in Martinez. Boy, oh boy, is that not good. I have to say, this is not disco. It is very far from disco. A wave crashes against the side of her boat. My only hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, she grabs hold of the mainsail. If you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond. They would have to project strength and power. The debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,001. Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? She leans back. It's not pretty. The Ceres giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours. These men work in tandem, using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. She's silent for a moment, then concludes. As I said, a bloodbath. See, Kim? This is the great bloodletting I've been telling you about. Apocalypse Cop? I can't see it happen. Too many things would have to go wrong first. Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you're describing? I think the confrontation is inevitable. It doesn't have to be like this. She looks at you, eyes damp from the wind. Lieutenant W. Frieder de Boy. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, a good one, and I may be able to defuse the situation. What can you tell me about Krenel? Not much. Their public resume is relatively good. As far as private military contractors go, I believe they were once called Downwell. Oh, good game. They boast a long list of clients: St. Baptiste, Welkman, Lawrence, Endracht. A warning sign, however, the operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries, guarding facilities, escort missions, and such. Finn and I played Downwell a long time ago, and it was one of the first games he ever played, and he would be scared of the jellyfish, and he would shout, "Daddy, jellyfish, jellyfish, jellyfish!" That one's pretty hard, meaning they're used to operating in war zones. Yes, all the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yezid, the Seminoles Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil. Sounds like maybe the colonel went a little native during the course of his duties. I wouldn't go as far as to use that term, detective. It's the expression she objects to. What, going native? Yes. She's picked a strange hill to die on. Strike. Sounds like you object to the words going native more than him raping and killing people here. She's silent. What's the purpose of this, detective? This is where you draw the line, going native, not at hiring a paramilitary death squad. Paramilitary death squad is a bit rich, she remains calm, but yes, were it up to me, I would have at least vetted them more thoroughly. Okay, anything else you got on them? Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources, she thinks. If you still have access to the Insane Clown Posse's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though, she thinks. Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the Insane Clown Posse, ma'am? In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I would be dealing with a group like Krenel. Could you contact the company? Tell them to call them off. I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us. She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can. You said the deceased assaulted a woman. Or he didn't, she tilts her head. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. Who did the passing on then? The remaining contractors, their tribunal. It's what they believe. What did these teenagers by the canal say? That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez. This does not come as news to you, but still, he exchanges a glance with you. To your knowledge, where did this assault took place? If you know. Last Sunday night at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gate. Supposedly the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him. I know the woman you're talking about. We have it under control. Don't mention it. Who was this woman? That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe. Okay. This colonel, the one who was hanged, do you know him? If you mean, did I see him alive? Yes, but I did not know him. His name was Lely. His service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one. So we were probably supposed to do this much earlier, I guess. Tell me about the others first. One is a man, Cordy they call him, a nickname as well. The other is a woman, Phyllis DePauli. Cordy is the gunner, I believe. DePauli is a radio operator. Lieutenant cuts in. What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's? She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, and shakes her head. I can't remember. There's a pang of regret to her voice. Lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed. That's right, ma'am. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age? He was 40 or 50, it's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age or gauge his facial expressions. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body, and Classia also mentioned it, I believe. Oh, no, you brought her up in front. No, we're supposed to... No, Kim, no. He says to you, then turns back to Joyce. What else? Nationality? Maybe he whispered it to us. He was Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Orionese, or Messininian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through the injury. She nods. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. Where are the remaining two mercs now? They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. She puts her foot on the guard wire for balance. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes, ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting. Vigilantes? You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol. Vigilantes? The RCM gets its authority from the coalition. Where does theirs come from? Somehow I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down. We still need to know where they are. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved. Where are these mercenaries? Nice. All right, so if we fail, we have to take $1 million off. Yeah. And it's not like we failed 297% checks before now, right? Little too close. One is obviously the Scab leader at the harbor gates, the one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers. One must be the goon in ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates, the Scab leader. That may be so. She is poised and unperturbed. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest. For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gates is a powder keg. This does not bother you. Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant, but my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union? Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace. One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout. That would afford a good vantage point, she says. In any case, it's practically inaccessible. Where's your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece? Heavens no, I'm not an undercover agent. There's a shortwave at the ship's wheel. She nods toward the sloop's cabin. Had another question for you. How much time do we have? Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob and their impatience. They don't report their progress to you. Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative. There is a brief silence. Seagulls squawk over the bay. It's a matter of days, not weeks. That's enough for now. I'm sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there's anything else I can help you with, please ask. Now can you help me with these tattoos? Of course, excuse my hesitation before. She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hand for about half a minute in silence. She wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured like those of a working woman. It is taken with a trinket not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands. No more markings on his hands or legs. Stay quiet, observe the woman's expression. Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo surface. What do you think? Sorry, she breaks her concentration. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars, she points to one on the photo paper. I can't, but that's how you read the story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent, like blooms in a pattern. Close, she nods. Port cities. This is an Orionese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the DeLorean century over 300 years ago. The sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels. What is the use of this map? The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it. What travels did the dead man make? Quite a few. Verdefort, the Ornese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. She points to it on the photo. He started somewhere near here, I think. What next? Then he made his way to the Preto Grande through what I think must be Stad's Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Preto he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean. First the Semines Islands, then this. She points to his heart. Revachol, she says. Those are the two constants, Verdefort on the shoulder and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of the Insulindi at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age. The old world passing by the new world already here. You said you can't read it. I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning. Somewhere in an office lit by a single green desk lamp, Captain Platomeos Mayonnaise Price, 58, bald and bespectacled, is writing in a ledger on his desk. Rows and rows of days and weeks, laconic remarks in a single column. Patrol, case, vacation, injured. In Martinez looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside there is a siren, distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter. This man is no brother of mine, but this is his service history. That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident, mercenary tattoos. For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas. Who could tell me more? His platoon members, the other contractors, so I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade. I need the information. Mark it down. Ask Marks about tattoos. Do what you have to do, Detective Dubois. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security, but if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you. We will be careful, ma'am. That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help. Okay. I wonder why they didn't cut him down. You think like his friends, in the area, having to see him all that time, would have found a way to cut him down?
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
I think you may be able to help me decipher some tattoos. Take out the picture. Don't think so, he grunts, barely glancing at it. Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea. They were on the body of the man who was hanged behind the cafeteria there. Give him the photo. It was your colonel. Give him the photo. We're investigating a murder. These tattoos were on the victim's body. Give him the photo. Yes, of course, forget about it. Let's discuss something else. It was on your colonel. Give him the photo. Wordless, he takes the photo and looks at it. Gray eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. His face is unmoving. Hard as a stone, but beneath it, you see dead flesh and colorful rivers of polychrome melting skin and hair. After a while, he cranes his head side to side and sighs. Fucking loincloths really did him in. Loincloths? Yeah, can you tell me what the tattoo means? What it means, he points to one tiny star in the web of lines away from the man's heart, almost on his stomach, in what must have been Semenine. I can tell you what this one means. Only one. He squints at it. It's so small. You want to hear what happened here? Yes. Our colonel is deep in the bush here, deep in the fucking bush in Bainatail? 41, monsoon season. He's on a reconnaissance mission. Bainatail is one of the inhabited islands of the Semenese archipelago near the Pale, covered in jungle. It was anchor point for the Semenese nationalists in the proxy war held on the islanders' territory. He spent a month behind enemy lines scouting kipped villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers. He licks his lips as if drunk suddenly. With some strange emotion. This is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off. Don't interrupt him. Actually, no. Take the photo back. You knew him, right? Don't interrupt him. Hear it. Our boy, he's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. If they don't see action soon, his voice gets strangely quiet a long, long way from right to work. His gaze pierces the paper. At dawn, he comes upon two kips breeding in the bushes by the river, or maybe they weren't breeding. Maybe they were just making eyes at each other. I like to think they were breeding. We shot the boy. He was useless. But the girl, she was nice. A little fat, you know, but not too old. Say nothing. She was quite the entertainment for the week she lasted. Expired in the hands of Sarge Mason, the kind of guy who'd make chief there. He nods toward the man on the gates, shit his pants and cry like a bitch. God, he suddenly bursts out laughing. Mason couldn't let go. Cut the tits off her cold body and fucking ate them. Said primitive spirits were watching over him now. What the fuck? Suddenly the laughter stops, drowned in a creak a week later. Spirits my ass. There's a word on the tip of your tongue, colorless, odorless, it's evil. You bet it was. What is evil? It's just nature. This guy, he points at the picture, used to say evil is when nature and spirit meet in the wrong place. You were there? No, I was somewhere else. That's just a guess as to what this one little star on his belly might mean. I'm just a bouncer. You're not really a scab leader, are you? Fucking mask is getting sweaty. I want to take my mask off, but he shrugs. He's under orders, and orders are orders. You can have that. Conclude. Nah, you've earned it. He turns toward the gate slowly and yells, all right now. Free commerce. Keep the goods flowing. On the photo, in your hands, the dead man's skin is studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them, littering his dead skin. Alright, so let's save it just in case this kills us. Free flow of commerce, the man yells. Okay, so he's not taking it. Say very quietly, is there a tribunal being convened by any chance? Fucking bug, he breathes out slowly, his giant chest deflating and his mouth slightly open. You hear a tiny rattle, a small radio cracking somewhere, an earpiece? I'm going to interpret that as a yes. There's a tribunal, and it won't be long until it's ready. How about you fuck off now, huh? Okay, of course, the lieutenant says, his voice is soothing calm. He looks at you. There could be weapons aiming at us right now, somewhere above in the buildings. The other merc, don't push this. He's thinking, this is not the time. Alright. Okay, so what else do we have to do? We can go and talk to Titus. Special Bourse while we're inside. Murder weapon. Wow, we knocked out quite a bit today. And we might want to go and talk to Evrart about our gun, because I don't see another way of getting that right now.
Hello, dear. It's good to see a familiar face.
The elderly woman smiles up at you, hopefully. I restocked the empty trap. Where's Mural? Thank you for doing that, dear. She manages to smile for you. Her smile is weary. Her earlier ebullience has left her. Is Mural dead? Mural still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. She looks down at her hands. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. Only the hardcore players left, huh? It's probably for the best. It's awfully cold out there in those reeds. He gives up and I'm running around? Only the hardcore players left, huh? Yes, she smiles a cautious smile. Field work is a young person's game, as they say. Her voice is shaky. What is going on here? So, who's going to check the traps? Moira will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps. Lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything. Something tells me it's up to me again. We'll take care of it. Take it on. Once more into the breach, then. That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself. Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up. Lena, what's wrong? You seem different. Different how? The half moons of her glasses reflect you. She looks up at you. Answering a question with a question, for example. Defensive isn't her usual style. You're on the back foot. You've given up on the phasmid. You're not telling me the whole story. You're on the back foot. I'm in doubt, sweetie. That's all. Everyone is now and then. You're in doubt about what? It's a strange feeling. She looks down, biting her lower lip. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer. And when a police officer asks, you must answer. Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that, a story or a dream? Hunching her shoulders now. She seems even smaller than she is, like a sad young girl. Seeing the Insulidian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not. But Mural told me you'd seen it. You also told me. Mural's so proud of it, he always tells everyone. A terrible sting in heart, regret. Are you saying you made it up? You seem to really believe it happened. Doesn't that count for something? No, sweetie, she shakes her head. There's more to it than that. Mural was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence, that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologist, that for that and for years his belief made me believe too. But now we're both getting old and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. She shakes her head, still unable to meet your eyes. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was. The lieutenant opens his notebook but doesn't write anything. He's hiding these things. He's hiding. These things are tough on him. Matters of love, not violence or deceit. First, tell her her marriage hasn't been a lie. Oh no, it's a red check. What could go wrong? Oh no! But it has, hasn't it? Oh no! Hasn't it? A seed can only bear what's inside it. The seed of love is black and oily. It has a taste you're quite familiar with. Take it from me, love is a lie. The sooner you accept it, the better. You might be right, detective. She looks down at her legs. I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I came in on our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologist, if I didn't tell him that story. She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking. He'd still be into you. That's not how these things work. Now I understand why you haven't told him about your doubts. Wow, love is hard. He'd still be into you. That's not how these things work. Maybe, but then why do I not dare tell him? She sighs. I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it, lest I start crying and waste more of your time. What you have to know is the Insulidian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life. Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad. To hell with this. I still believe you saw the phasmid. Thing is, you're not sure you made it up either. Okay, it's a false memory. Doesn't mean all cryptids aren't real. Chase another one. Number 2. I'm not sure of anything. She looks out the window. Sometimes I still see it, you know, the real memory. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart. Either way I should go. Poor Mural is running a fever. I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary. Are you sure you don't need help getting to Gary's? You do that. I'll check the traps one more time. Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This whole thing is gas-powered. She taps her chair. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad. You do that. I'll check the traps one more time. Really? Oh, sweetie, she looks at you worried. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Mural. No one can stop you from finding the phasmid. We're going to find this phasmid. Can I have your address just in case there's news? Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road, Jamrock, but aside, she doesn't think you'll need it. Be careful out there, Lena. It's been a pleasure, ma'am. The rest of it is pretty grim. Thanks for bringing some light. It's been a pleasure, ma'am. Likewise, sweetie. She flicks the switch on her chair and the engine turns on with a whirling in rags. Thank you for everything, truly. Even though it turned out to be the sentence remains unfinished. A waste of time, a dream, a lie. A fool's hope, say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas... Like that, she drives off. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, it's snowing. We should go too. That was loud. Hey, what about the borscht? By the way, we speak Revacholian in Revachol. Get your Revacholian nationhood on. The borscht. Nod. The man looks at you, then at the soup. His face lightens up. He picks up a bottle from the shelf. Borscht need more vodka. Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and good spirits. You know, it's a clever move by the Union. Of course, vodka. Now that makes a very, very special borscht indeed. Turn it up and then ask for some yourself. Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg. No vodka. Turn your fingers counterclockwise. Cut it. The cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off and seems to wait for you to speak. Okay, we did it. We did it. I thought we did it already.
Just dragged her away, huh? Stone cold. Didn't think you had it in you.
I didn't have what in me to arrest her? Yeah, you ruthless son of a bitch. He nods approvingly. I certainly didn't have it in me. I always let the pretty ones go. I'm soft like that. Yeah, like when we let old Clancy's widow walk. Or Denise the diner girl, the milk rack on that one, he says, almost elegaically. Can't say I wasn't sad to see her go. Our Classia there, her face when your friend walked her out. God damn, he shakes his head. Hold up, her face, what did it look like? What? 1/3 of humanity will be called, and you're worried about a single lamb. Oh, maybe we should have went apocalyptic cop. God damn. Fuck with the sun boy, point to yourself, get burnt. That was the normal thing to do. She was a flight risk. I'm a cop. Oh my god, she had a sad face. I'm so sorry I made her sad. Hold up, her face would look like she was walking to the gallows. He avoided looking her straight in the eye. You would have too. That was the normal thing to do. She was a flight risk. I'm a cop. Yes, normal. He seems to be thinking. Nothing to do about it now, I guess. I just hope she can game her way through the system and come out the other way. Don't think I forgot how I specifically let you know how I felt about her arrest either, he says, shaking his head. Now what do you want? Guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade. I talked to Joyce, the merc you hanged. His friends are coming for you. Okay, I talked to Classia. Now I need to talk to Ruby. Why? He leans back and regards you with curiosity. Because she's your real leader. I'm going to level with you. She's the next link in the chain that leads me to Lely's killer. I have seen her in a laudanum-induced delirium. The paranormal instinct whispers her name into my ear. Look, I need to pin this on someone, and I've decided to pin this on her. I suspect she killed the victim, that's why. A civil war is brewing, and the only way to prevent it is to solve the murder. That means talking to Ruby. She's a suspect in another case I'm investigating, a drug smuggling. Let's go with number 6. Sounds like you want to push the steaming pile of shit on anyone, and now you've picked Ruby. Well, not on my watch you won't. Ruby's one of us. We're not going to throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit. And fuck you too, moral fog. He throws a glance at Titus at the last syllable. As the last syllable leaves his lips, the big guy sighs. Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys. That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory, not even a game theory. He crosses his arms. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. I think you can fuck off now. I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking. Logic, impossible. Present a solid theory about why Ruby could have done it. Guess what? I've connected... Okay, 97. 97! How could we possibly fail? A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostile cafeteria is lit by its eerie blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion all channel into a single thought. Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him? Because she was here all night with us. He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101. She was here all night? The lieutenant ignores the tattooed man. 11:30 to 12:25. She was here during all that time? Yeah, with us drinking. Near the stage there. He points to the karaoke stage. She didn't go to the toilet. She didn't go to the bar for a drink. She didn't go out for fresh air for one smoke. She didn't go to the toilet. No, that's a lie. You know that's not the case. In the whole 45-minute window, she was with you all the time. Alright, she took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment, maybe went out too. She has a complex operation to run from her lorry. He points to the intersection. She's a busy girl, always has been. You know this already, it all fits together. Ruby, the missing Hardie, was present at the hanging and running the drug trade. Just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot the merc. He taps on his temple. I've been through this. It's not plausible. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. That was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof. You do agree the shot came from the roof, right? A skilled Sambo artist could have climbed the outer wall like a spider. There's a secret route in the kitchen that leads straight to the roof. Have you noticed the winch up back on the outer wall of the whirling? Secret route. How? He looks sincerely curious. Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop. People say there was a pinball arcade here sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo? East Delta Pinball Arcade, the old man coughs. Weird place, went bankrupt. Okay, but the man looks around. How'd she get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building, or an elevator for that matter. The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop. Good one, Kim. From there... Good one, Kim. Thank you. The lieutenant is glad he got the floor plan right there. From there, a door leads straight to the roof. You can just step outside. Ruby could have gone up, shot him, and come down all in under 7 minutes. All under 7 minutes. That's quite the theory. He turns to Eugene. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys. I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there. It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead? Shush now, he turns to you. You got something else to back this route up, or is that it? Have we firmly established Ruby could have had access to the roof where the man was shot? Move on? Firmly? He shakes his head. Firmly doesn't go well with could have. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a route, he forms a gun with his hand, does not put a bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one. Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt in the shape of a gun. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself. Guys, this is Revachol. Anyone could get a gun around here. Anyone. I've analyzed the bullet that killed him. It was jacketed. There's a small 28% chance that the shot came from beyond the roof. Show them the antique rifle. There are weapons like this just lying around in Martinez. The local pawn shop sold my lost gun to a woman. Maybe it was her. 5 seems alright. 1, like... How does 2 is correct, but how does it implicate? How does 2 implicate the thing? Joe, you sold your gun after. Oh no, our gun didn't kill him. It's not even the right kind of gun. I'm just saying we're trying to present a plausible idea to him. So 5 could work for that. 2 is correct, but I don't think it implicates. 3 is wrong, so it's 1 or 4. 4 seems strong. 4 is just basically a stronger version than 1, right? Let's go 4. That looks antique. A Belle Margrave. He takes the gun and inspects it and hands it back to you. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it? There's a cellar under the bookshop. It was hidden there with others just like it. 20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too. God damn it, we need to close that dump down for good. Okay, I see your point. There are guns lying around. He shakes his head. Damn it, I thought we'd found all the old spots. Why was that still there? We just missed one. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss. Just these cops digging up shit. Guys, this is Revachol. Anyone can get... Okay, now we're back here again. I didn't say I proved she had the murder weapon. Just that we need to find her. Move on. Alright, cop. He nods. Keep talking. I'll tell you when I've had enough. T, we're not seriously considering it, are we? He almost gets up from his seat. Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this? Phase 3, motive, the last component. It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up. Before I arrested Clashes, she told me some pretty interesting things about Ruby. Maybe it's all part of a leadership challenge against you, Titus. When Clashes came downstairs, Ruby appeared to know that something was wrong. Maybe she killed him because she thought it would curry favor with you. Number 2. Yeah, like what? Apparently she had a thing for classy sex. She wanted sex from her. Let's not get into it. It's needless sensationalism. Number 1. A thing, you mean? He tilts his head to the side and falls silent. Behind his squinting eyes, dominoes are falling fast. It's all beginning to make sense to him now. Yeah, but... The fat man looks up from the table, oblivious. They're both girls. Girls like girls too, Angus, Kim explains. Sometimes. This is one of those times. She liked classy. I know, it's bewildering for me too, but that's what she says. Come on, guys, she hangs out with you meatheads. This cannot come as a surprise. It's supernatural, a reality-breaking event. We just need to accept it. It's scary, yes. She probably went to a university and learned it from a liberal. What Kim said. Fuck you. The man can't believe what he's hearing. First he says she murdered him. Now she's a fog too? It's a lie. Come on, Glenn. She likes Monica's titties more than you do. The Misc smiles. Everyone knows which way the wind blows there. I did. I knew it. That's why she didn't fuck me at Fatty's birthday party. She didn't fuck you because you're 40 and you still live with your mom, Dennis. Light laughter sounds off in the room. It feels nervous. Classy said she made advances on her, and she thwarted them. Ruby then threatened her and told her to end her relationship with the deceased. This is some sordid shit. The big man rubs his chin. It's also the kind of garbage our Miss Orange puts out to cover her own ass. Sort of, but he doesn't have to know that. She'd tell us right before we arrested her. Dennis is a weeb. She'd tell us right before we arrested her. She told us. Ruby made her scared and spilled the beans. He looks out the window pensively. That Ruby is queer as cabaret now. It's queer as cabaret now that I start thinking about it. I don't know why I didn't see it earlier. And that's okay. Some are queerer than others. You can still be a Hardie. He glances at Glenn. But if you bring your own personal shit into our outfit, if that's the case, then it's not right. He looks at Titus, then Elaine. But it's not the case, right? There are many pieces that fit together that way, Eugene. Face it. 4. Nah, man, that's just Ruby. She's got shit under control. That's her whole thing. That's why she's so good. Plus, man, it's like female intuition, you know. Women talk to women. He peeks at Titus, which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to. Eugene wants a woman on the team so they can do their job. That must be hard. Half of Martinez is female. Yes, roll your eyes. Female intuition. That's what it was. You're right, Eugene. Yeah, she's just got her shit together. That's how she knew. Or she knew what happened because she killed him. Not so useful. Titus looks at Elaine, then Eugene. Fucking hell, the blonde man is in some kind of anguish that makes him stare into his bread bowl intently. I think we're probably going to do number 1 now. And I suppose you have a theory about that too, cop? She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus. Think about it. Why go through all the effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging, you went along, but she suggested it. The little man squints, eyes beady. She had like a fully formed plan and shit right when she came back downstairs. Really, Shanks? Classy wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd been first. Time for a logics demonstration. Eugene, let's assume you killed him. Shanky, let's assume you killed him. Titus, let's assume you killed him. Eugene? He scoffs. Think, you kill him, get up there, shoot him, get down. Would you prefer to go on trial with your friends as part of a lynch mob or alone for committing murder? The man is silent. If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardie code, boss. Which is why she didn't. This is fucking stupid, Titus. This and the queer thing, all of it. The blonde man waves his beer around. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus. Glenn, Titus looks grim. I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit. Ooh, so he didn't rule her out completely, and she skipped town. This is good. Titus, you have to see it. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her. Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod and a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. This is the only opinion he cares for. Yeah, I see it. He puts his beer down. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is, add it to your list of suspicions if you want. I don't know. He smiles a peculiar smile. I don't know where she went. She just up and left. I got real scared too. Wouldn't tell me why. Sorry, wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Wanna know why? Why? She was afraid I would tell you. He looks you straight in the eye. Maybe she was right. By now I probably would. She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior. Why fleeing is always incriminatory. Perhaps. He looks out of the window again. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that. When did she leave? What was she scared of? Do you have any clues on where Ruby went? Have you looked for her? Do you know what she's doing with Ulan frequencies? When did she leave? Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation. What was she scared of? I told you. You. Me as in the RCM? No, you as in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes. No wonder she's afraid. I have come to declare the ending of the human experiment. She probably knew me from my singing days. I'm sorry, God, why does everything flee at the sight of my shadow? I have no idea why she'd be scared. I'm just a normal cop with regular thoughts in his head. Sure, normal, he says without smiling. You know, when I first saw you limp in here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply, but he measures you up. Now I'm not so sure. What else did Ruby tell you about me? She said you have a funny taste in clothes, he scoffs, and that you won't stop, until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans. Fucking hell, the tattooed man shakes his head. Titus, did he just open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. He nods. Now we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day. Al, how about you? It's not an actual question. Silence, he nods. Is that true, Kim? Am I a can opener? You are insistent, he nods. Anything else? Anything? Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. Squeaky chair. This cop Titus, this cop he, but she was too scared. Evrart has a file on you, but that's bogus. What she knows comes from somewhere else, from Jamrock. It must be real stuff. Do you have any clues on where Ruby went? She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her Lorry. She's on foot. Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her. Yeah, Al. He gives a sharp look, and we won't either. She's not really a... The man stares into his beer. Hardie candidate anymore, is she? She's not, Glenn. Have you looked for her? A little, on the coast. Where have you looked for her, more precisely? More precisely? On the coast, past the water lock. He nods southwest. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there. Can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking? Sure, there are some shit houses there, a cinderblock town. The fisher folk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up. We will start there. The lieutenant takes a quick note. One more question. What does Ruby look like? Boyish, hair's red, dyed. She looks like a lorryman. Do you know what she's doing with Ulan frequencies? The what now? I have no idea. He looks around. Boys? She said she's building his voice is very quiet, a pale emitter. A what? We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies and a pale something. I don't know more. This guy barely understands what he's talking about. There you have it. Pale something. Titus puts an end to it. It's not much, but it'll do. Go. It'll have to. He puts his hand out. Shake it. His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM sergeant material. You should be a cop, Titus. Just think it. No, he already is a sergeant. That's what you're feeling. He just wasn't sure what you are.
The Copper NATO is back. What do you want?
Guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade. I talked to Joyce, the merc you hanged. His friends are coming for you. I want to go over a few things regarding Ruby's disappearance again. Okay, thanks for review. Guess what? I can use a local drug trade. Like hell you have. He leans back unruffled. There's no local drug trade. This place is clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 kilos. We'll do that. In the meantime, he points south. Did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drug switch from Terminal B to Jamrock? We know Ruby was the driver. We know that's your affiliation with her. He taps on his notebook. Detective, you want to deliver the coup de grace? You're right. There is no local drug trade. No, no, do the honor. You've earned it. Nod at the lieutenant. Thank you. He turns to face the man. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade. That's a mighty interesting theory. He rubs his jaw, smiling. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street. Yeah, man, theoretically, that's what you would do to get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies. You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly, he grins. For the good of the community, of course. Yes, but that just sends everyone else to Jamrock, doesn't it? You just diverted the flow to Jamrock. You've made it our problem. This is disgusting. You're admitting to profiting off of poisoning your own people. Good idea. People are always going to do drugs. At least this way you have some control over it. Yeah. Keep telling yourself that. I know for a fact there's still plenty of drugs out there. Number one, we haven't done anything, but theoretically it has to be someone's problem, so it might as well be yours. He takes a sip of his beer and smiles. I don't know, the big man says, swirling his beer can. I guess theoretical things don't make me emotional. Now I was sort of going to get my brewski on. And what about this Ruby? Is she the 8th Hardie who runs this thing for you? You sure do love long walks through Theory Town, don't you? The big guy asks. Straightening his cap. Well, I'm thirsty now. Thirsty for beer. Got any less theoretical questions, cop? He doesn't let it show, but he doesn't let it show, but must be a little impressed. You put a lot of things together fast. He's practically saying yes, a yes to everything you just said. I talked to Joyce, the merc you hanged. His friends are coming for you. Yeah? He doesn't seem worried. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Krenel? Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma. There's snickering in the room. Some of the men put their beers down. Yes, they're forming some kind of tribunal, and they're coming for you. This is what happens if you take the law in your own hands. Other people start doing it too. Let them come, Blondie yells across the cafeteria. The Hardie Boys are right fucking here. You heard the man right here. He points to the ground. We're armed. We've got the whole district behind us, and Glenn is fucking crazy. Yeah, well-oiled murder machine. He punches Blondie on the shoulder. Do you know that a single Ceres giant hornet can kill 40 bees a minute? This kernel is bad news. You know that, right? The mercenaries are armed with automatic weapons. Joyce said they've gone rogue. Nobody is controlling them. Do you know the single Ceres giant? Who knew the world had such wondrous insects? The fuck is that supposed to mean? You're the bees, they're the hornet. We're not bees, we're men, we're socialists. Easy, E. He's trying to phase you. He turns to you. What are you trying to do? Scare my men? The mercenaries are armed with automatic weapons. We got weapons of our own. He cracks open his vest to give you a glimpse of his holster. We got Ister 50s, Ziegelers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home. Will they pierce ceramic armor? Well, if Glenn has a knock cannon at home, I guess you'll be alright. Will they pierce ceramic armor? I guess we're gonna see, aren't we? That was an unsure phrasing. See what? That they don't? Yeah, like you've been up against ceramic armor. I'm wearing it. He takes a sip of beer to bide his time, then tries to get the last word. Oh, please be like a check. Try and shoot me right now. See if it goes. Oh, please. Please, I'm wearing it. Try and shoot me right now. You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal. Joyce said they've gone rogue. Nobody's controlling them. Big fucking surprise, he mutters. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do you think is going to happen? This kernel is bad news. You know that, right? Pfft, a spray of beer. So are the local gangs, the fucking Barmy Army, and the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around? Yeah, where are they now, huh? He points south. Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate. These people are trained military professionals, special forces, as you said. They're not a gang or a Barmy Army. No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. Don't forget, we're listening on their communications. Their shit is way apart. Okay, conclude with a shrug. What do you mean, okay? He jerks forward a bit. I mean, okay, they're going to wipe you the fuck out, Titus. I mean, okay, you got this. You got the numbers. I mean, okay, I'll be on your side when they come. I mean, okay, you got one more gun on your side. Once I find mine, I lost it. I mean, okay, I guess I'll be gunning you down right alongside them. Oh, I mean, I kind of want 4 to see if that leads us to getting our gun back. Let's go for it. We don't need you or your lost gun. We all have our guns. He almost splashes his beer at you. We'll just use those if it's okay with you. Lost gun or not, you're going to need help. Lieutenant looks Tice in the eye. We're offering it. Okay, I accept the offer. The man cracks his shoulder, but I'll believe it when I see it. He appreciates it, but can only accept it conditionally. Alright. Look at these. Logic. Wield raw intellectual power. Deduce the world. Waifus aren't real. Call upon all your knowledge. Produce fascinating trivia. Waifu, from the Japanese word waifu, a transcription of the word wife, your personal most attractive female anime cartoon character, commonly used by a weeaboos. A weeaboos. And next is Rhetoric, who's going to be someone's favorite, I know. You crazy degenerate you. You know who you are. There's Rhetoric. Practice the art of persuasion. Enjoy rigorous intellectual discourse. But what if waifus were real? I should just shrink them so they're all on the screen at the same time, actually. Let's shrink it down over here. Next is Drama, who's gonna be another favorite for someone too. Look, chat, she's cute. Drama, play the actor, lie and detect lies. Your waifu is trash. And then there's 2 more, Conceptualization and Visual Calculus. This is the most images I've ever had on the screen at once. Conceptualization, understand creativity, see art in the world. Waifu is art. Wow. Wow. I think maybe that's going a little too far. Waifu is art. And last is Visual Calculus. And then naturally, because it's this stream, we're going to vote on who's the best. Because why wouldn't we? Visual Calculus. Reconstruct crime scenes. Make laws of physics work for the law. Waifu is just a drawing. Oh no. Made an enemy for wife. Made an enemy for wife. Alright, so there are the candidates. Let's move them a little over. Who is best girl of these guys? Because of course we're going to do that. Why wouldn't we? Oh no, there's not enough room for all of them. One has to be called. Poll which one to call. All right, we'll do a straw poll then. All right, here you go, spamming it. So I'm not even gonna say like did logic win. I just want to see how much did logic win. Drama gave her a run for her money more than I thought. I wonder every day what would happen if you took one of your VODs and showed it to yourself a few years back. How would you respond to this shit right here? I would be really proud. Really proud. Playing the community like a fiddle. Good job. Good job. Ralph Fox used 5 minutes to say, Joe, I've been working, like this is like a dialogue, like a scene from a play. So Joe says, I've been working on this video for so long it could be done any day now. Lily, I'm so glad, but Joe, have you decided on where you want to upload? Joe, of course, I want to upload here with you. The hospital's Wi-Fi is crap anyway. Lily, I just want you and the video to be okay. It's been overdue for long. It could be any day now. Joe, well, I know I'll be fine with you here to help me. And then Lily... And it's the follow-up. Lily, my perfectionism is breaking. I'm going into rendering. Lily, don't worry, Joe. I'm going to make sure the kids are safe, and then I'll be back. Joe, dragon and pain noises. Lily, wow, this is going places. Lily quickly informs Finn and Leo and brings them and Kate to Joe's room. Joe, we're back. How are you doing? Joe, nervous dragon sounds. Lily, I'm worried about viewer retention. Lily holds Joe's hand. Don't worry. I'm amazed people watch half the weird shit you do. This will be fine. Wow. So I'm giving birth to the video. Thank you, Ralph Clogs. Oh wait, there's more. Joe, I'm in the last 99%. Lily, I can see the thumbnail. Oh god, I can see the thumbnail. It's crowning. Joe, Lily, congratulations, Joe. It's beautiful. 12-hour video game video. Wow, only 12 hours? It's longer than that. Joe, how is it? Lily, it's Leo. I'm sorry, but Kate, it's no masterpiece. Wow. Wow. Was that worth 1,500 bits over 3 messages, Ralph Clogs? God damn. Well, thank you for that, and yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Reese Polar used another 100 bits just to say one more time for the road. Fuck Top Lolly. Poker Starfish used 100 bits to say sorry I fell asleep. What happened? We're voting on best girls. Logic won. Logic won with 63 votes. Then drama. Then visual calculus. Then conceptualization. Then rhetoric. Then encyclopedia. Which I'm surprised. I thought encyclopedia. The page hair might have done it for some of you. Huh. The mailbox, we tried to pet the mailbox last time. It didn't do anything. We did it last one. Oh. That's new. He didn't do that last time. We played it after the patch, and he didn't do that last time. Maybe it was bugged. Your hands were full? Oh, okay. Here you go. We're patting the mailbox. There you go. There you go. Anyway, I'm out. See you guys later. See you tomorrow. Who knew the world had such wondrous fruits? Thank you for this, Q2. The 2 lobsters. Have there been 2 lobsters in every single one? Oh, I like the pendant. That's cool. Thank you, Q2. I think if we're done tomorrow, this might be the second last one. Assuming you keep up the streak for the whole thing. Which, no pressure. No pressure. Check Boardwalk for bullet traces, check Island for bullet traces. Okay, so we can find Ruby. We need to go look for her in the village. We need to find another figurine for Dolores Day, but I don't know where to find those. Find the murder weapon. Find booze and drink it. Okay, so that's it. We've ran down the options now. I think we want to go to Evrart and get the quest for the thing, because I think that's probably the only way to get the gun, because we would have found an alternate way by now. But let's just get it, and we don't have to go along with it, I guess.
Mr. Dubois, every worker.
He leans toward you, waiting for your to complete his sentence. Member of the board, is a living god, is an organ in the great state organism of war. Also looks just like me, for himself.
And for his fellow man. That's right, Mr. Dubois. You're turning out to be quite the individualist there. So you had business with me?
I've just finished investigating the local drug trade. I may have changed my mind about getting these signatures. I did it, Everett. I turned it off. What? The big man looks at you confused. The shady brew, you told me to make it even shadier. I didn't. It had alcohol in it. Now there's no alcohol. Did I? Well done then, Harry. I like not knowing about it, and I'm sure you made the right call. I spend the whole day delegating tasks, and it's a great relief to see people taking initiative. I don't even want to know what all of that means. Brew, shady alcohol, turned off. I'm going to let the world surprise me. Alright, I may have changed my mind about getting those signatures. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here, he hands you an open white envelope. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I heard there was some trouble with the water lock, but it should be fixed now. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 Way, La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun. He runs his fingers through his thin hair. I mailed the signatures you asked me to get. All right, can we just say this? He literally just gave it to us. There's no way. There's no. I finished investigating the local drug trade. Yes, your side investigation. Thank you. He adjusts his glasses. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Let's talk real business. Actually, Revershell doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him. Not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's that then. Alright. We can't lie about the signatures we just got here. Hey Joe, how about trying some MMOs till the full stream is back? Just a quick look at what happens in that genre. I think you would like Vindicus. I don't think so. I think that playing MMOs on stream would be pretty bad. There are some MMOs I'd like to check out, but on stream, I'm not sure. I think it'd be kind of boring. Generally speaking, it would be dishonorable to take it, but then it looks like a military uniform. Wearing it is very honorable, so conflict of honor is up to you. Take the uniform. I suppose Rene is not going to be needing anymore. He studies the uniform. It's a bit too colorful for my taste, though. It's needed for my work and all that. This is gonna take my shit to the next level. I'm done here. Fantastic. Try not to wear it with other similarly colorful clothes, okay? Revershalian Nationhood. Oh man, look at that. Alright. We'll put something even more colorful on. So, looking at the traps isn't on our quests. That's weird. Traps for locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. If you lie on their backs with their legs switching, still no phasmid. Poor things.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind. Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it.
Kim's presence makes it awkward. All right,
mind, officer?
Come on. Double sixes. Let's go. Double sixes, let's go. A million on a yaya. Oh, halfway there. Halfway there.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around the coast? Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately. Okay, but do you know who I'm talking about? Oh well, let's know if that changes. We're looking for a fugitive. Do you know what I'm talking about? This is my little Cinderblock town. She nods with a wrinkled smile. I know what goes on around here. She's being evasive. She knows something. There was a murder in Martinez. He points east. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help. Would you now? She turns to him. I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other. You know something. We're here to help. This is like when that man locked himself in the woodshed. We just need to help her come out. What? This isn't about the union, you know. You don't have to worry about retaliation. I don't remember this. No, it's not like that, man. With him, we called you. Right now, you just arrived by yourself like a raven plucking at the window glass. I see. You know something, but you decided not to tell us. There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else? I see, man. The lieutenant turns to you. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway. You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others, too. Maybe Ruby and I have been sharing the same place. As you look the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. Didn't we have something about look at the floorboards before? And it wouldn't let us do that until now? The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Move the board aside. The hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below. What's in here? Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea. Search through the sand and sawdust. You stick your hand and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Find dust and then something hard wrapped in paper. What is it? A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber. This bullet isn't for a breech loader like the murder weapon. The floorboard isn't interested. Maybe the washerwoman is. You have enough to confront her with. Interesting. Here we go. It's the Kim Pout. Kim has joined Pout Patrol. Okay, so do we want to let's talk to the washer lady?
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night.
Why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack? God damn that girl, she murmurs softly. And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure. A bullet? The lieutenant turns to you and gives you a little nod. Then turns to the washerwoman. You didn't put it there, did you? She did. Gone and hid things in there. She shakes her head. She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either. You rented the room to her? The old woman sits in silence, her hands moving into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge. Slowly she speaks, wringing out a rag. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear we welcome all kinds of people here. When was this? She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. Her wrinkled hand needs a blue rag in the water. What has she gotten herself into, that girl? That's for the police to find out. Lieutenant takes out his familiar blue notebook. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few. You said she left on Monday. Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think. Dogs? She probably heard Lieutenant's Kanema drive by and it woke her up, just like it did you. Kim, she must have heard your Kanema. Yes, that is a downside of having a 138 kilowatt engine. His voice is tinged with pride. It lets the bad guys know when you're coming. Is the room exactly as she left it? I cleaned it like I always do. Was there anything else there? No. The truth, sire. Oh, thank you, drama. What's she like, Ruby? She's good company, knows how to talk to an old woman. She rubs her cold hands together. On my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation, so I really appreciate that about her. Did she talk to you much during her last stay? No, she was mostly silent this time, kept to herself. What do you mean? She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room. Why do you think she left the bullet there? How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun. She looks back toward her shack, thinking. You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill. I have a possible explanation in my mind. Aye, do tell. A seagull flies overhead, obviously a bad omen. It's an exit plan. Exit from what? Her life, the world. This, spread your hands, her life. Lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman. She tilts her head to the side, looking up at you, deep in thought. Then she makes up her mind. No, she's a fighter. She really believes that. I heard she was a heavy drinker with anger issues. You ever witness that kind of behavior? Nothing of the sort. She shakes her head. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way, but I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset. She isn't what you call a drunk, even offered me some from time to time, said it was part of the camioneer life? I'm saying that wrong, but I never saw her lose control of herself the way some people do. Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff? Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieus she made. She brushes her forehead with the back of her head, water drips to the ground. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff, even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that. Where'd she go? I don't know, further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north. It's a peninsula. She might be trapped. After a moment of silence, she says, You'll never find her, you know. Her tone is without malice. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived. Maybe she's in that door we can't open, and the reason you can't open it is because of the plot. I wouldn't worry about that, man. We're persistent. Further up the coast we go, then. But that place is huge. She's a needle in a haystack. Wipe your brow. Man, I was really hoping she'd be hiding in this village. Are you sure she didn't go somewhere more pleasant and less wet? Further up the coast we go, then. Are you sure you wouldn't rather stay here, get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? She drops the rag into the bucket. It's clean now. Seems like a better idea to me. The felled electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step close this time. Okay, so that's the thing with the interactable door in like the ruined roof that we couldn't get to before. Okay. A few more questions about Ruby. Enough about Ruby. I had other questions. I was asked to get your signature. Hand her the envelope. Okay. One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her. She looks around. The air is getting colder. She really means it. It's an honest plea. She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in. Kind of want to try the suggestion thing with Lillian again. There's a slit in the concrete here. A sewer? The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth. Yell ho into the slit. What's in there? Maybe it's just a storm train for the sewer. Yell ho into the slit. There's no echo and no answer. Kim, any idea what's down there? No idea. He takes his glasses off to polish. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here. Think we might find Ruby down there? We might find her down somewhere. There's an odd storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Rubber Shell's sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now. He puts his glasses back on. In conclusion, she could be under any building, but not in there. He looks into the slit and sighs. I hope not. Finished thought. A few locusts trudge along the wall of the trap. The rest are piled in a heap in the corner dead. No phasmid anywhere. Poor things. This is looking pretty hopeless to find this phasmid. The trap is filled with dead and dying locusts. Most of them aren't moving anymore. You still can't see a phasmid anywhere. Poor things. Oh, we already came down here once we had the Ike thing. Maybe we should try getting our gun first before we go up there. Can we read the thing that he gave us first? White envelope was stamp attached to the upper right corner. Hand to you by Everclear Interactive. Try to find a loophole and deal. Oh, why didn't you guys tell me we could read it? What the fuck? Jesus, chat. You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum. Look at the zoning plan. The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall. It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall, practically integrating them into the youth center. This is either ominous or a cool architectural choice, hard to say. My money's on cool, like a cubic pyrite. Kim, what do you think of this? I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. Lieutenant replies, slipping through the documents. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect solution, but he shrugs. How else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient to build things, and citizens inevitably have disagreements over such construction projects, but there's no other way. Try to find a loophole in the deal. There is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door. Wait, what are the ramifications of this? Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, and even the most stubborn occupants to get tired. To get tired? Oh, okay, I see. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out. Look, Kim, point to the photocopy. These people are going to have to move away. Can we do something about it? The noise will be tough on the villagers, but I guess that's the cost of progress. Number 1. I should have seen it. The lieutenant frowns as he reads over the document again. Evrart probably has eyes on us, but he pauses to think. We could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed, or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we will already be gone. Evrart, people could be watching you here. Alright. What if we go inside our hut? Just dead and dying locusts and the slow swaying of surrounding reeds. Poor things. Alright, so that's it done? There's no... You can't find the phasmid? Huh. I thought for sure that it would have ended with something. Maybe that's the point. Maybe you're supposed to feel like, oh, sometimes things go nowhere. Huh. Alright, can we use it in here? There's no way Everett's people are in here, right? What? How are Everett's people watching us in the church? Implying there's something to know is a spoiler. Nah, what happens whenever I speculate about something, chat just says he doesn't know, even though chat usually doesn't know either, and I think that's really good. Because they say it even if there is nothing to know, so I can never know for sure. But pointing out that he doesn't know in this instance implies that there is something to know, and is different from the other he doesn't knows, is making me know. Unless that is also part of the he doesn't know meme. Okay, there's no one in here. Okay, 58%, red check. Well, if we fuck it up, there's no trying again. Like, it's done, we have to live with it. Alright, 58%. Interfacing, right? I think that's the only interfacing we have, right? Those gloves? How many times have we gone through this? We're not readying it. Nope. 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 We are going to save it in case we die, but no, we're not redditing it. Pinball coat is interfacing? Where's the pinball coat? No, it's hand-eye coordination. That should help, but it doesn't. The pen is shaking in your hand as you draw a pathetic little line. Keep drawing. Oh, we were 1 off. Keep drawing. What have I done? Keep drawing. The line gets even shakier and starts to curve toward the bottom of the page. Have I ruined the document? No, it's just a line. Forgery obviously isn't your strong suit. Sorry for suggesting it. If you get someone to actually sign this, it should be fine. Aw, man. We're not reloading. No. We're not reloading. That's it. Kim, are you good at forging?
Yes?
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I was asked to get your signature. Hand her the envelope. What's this about? She takes out the documents and squints her eyes. Come now, I can't read all this scribble. Tell me what it says. Evrart wants to turn part of the village into a little youth center. It's just a real estate deal, nothing ominous. Actually, never mind, I won't bother you with this. Evrart wants to turn part of the village into a little youth center, huh? Ha! She lifts the paper very close to her face and studies it intently. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is going to be a street. The best part. The part we need to get out of our houses. Have you asked Lillian about this? I won't even consider signing until I know she's on board. She hands the envelope back. Well, Lillian might like it because she has kids, right? So maybe this isn't such a bad thing, but I don't really trust Evrart, to be honest.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it.
Whoa,
the
how
wind
come?
is turning southeast.
How come this has come back?
Officer?
Why do we get another chance at this? Why am I being Joe dotted? We leveled it up and then we tried again, didn't we? I remember clicking the alcohol thing. Did we level it up again after that? She needs to go on a date. It was locked. Then we leveled up. Suggestion. We're leveling it up. Alright, we accepted it. Then we clicked on her. Then we tried it. Apparently I stopped talking for a bit. Alright. Yeah, I click on it. And then it was a one. We rolled a 7, 1 and a 6, and then it was locked again, and then we walked away. What the fuck, chat? We didn't level it up again. Then we went and spoke to the old lady. Why you guys gaslighting me? Fucking told hard. Knights of the Told Republic. What the fuck? I'm already going crazy enough. Don't do this to me. I was asked to get your signature. Hand her Everett's envelope. Were you? Her eyes dart back and forth on the paper. This says, by signing I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the union building? Everett's planning out to turn some of the village into a youth center. What a nice idea. I wouldn't have thought that. Her voice trails off. She sounds incredulous about the niceness of the idea. Thought what exactly? That Evrart and the union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. She shakes her head. Well, I guess union members have children too, and those members have a vote when electing the head of the local chapter. Here, use my pen. Give her your pen. He has a pen and everything. She takes it from you, a doubtful look in her eyes, clicks it, and places the tip on the paper. She gives the document one more look, then shakes her head, signs it, and hands it back to you. Here you go. Wait, why did you sign it? I shouldn't have? I looked at the document and said, no, you shouldn't have it. No, it's a youth center. Why shouldn't you? I mean, it's Evrart, so it's probably a mistake. Probably, she smiles, but it is a youth center, and I have children. Got to give them something else to do. They're cute and small now, but they're growing up fast. I had my first drink when I was 11 because I was so bored. Anyhow, you also need Sobel's signature. If it's a bad idea she won't sign, you'll find she's a tougher nut to crack than me. Sound logic, division of labor. She leaves the skepticism to the skeptic. Oh man, we get to try again. Reassured her about signed documents. Eventually we have to get a 6-6, right? It's just math. Alright. We leveled it up. See? Got you guys. See?
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast.
Come on!
What's your mind, officer?
Come on! How many points do we have left? 4. Alright. If we get another round of skill points, we'll come back again. I want to do it while Kim's here because I think it'll be gold.
What can I help you with?
I got Lillian's signature. Will you sign the papers now? I wonder if you save scum rolls, it knows, and it makes you roll worse throughout the rest of the game in revenge. I feel like we've been getting shit rolls ever since we became a Redditor. Lillian should just... Lillian should let her sword make her decisions. The girl just doesn't have the head for it. She lets out a chortle course like a raven's cow. Either way, I won't sign. Wait, you promised, so that it was a test? Aye, Lillian's not the only one who's too trusting. She wanted to see if you would do it, and if she would. What do you have against the union? I've seen it all before. You think they've got our interests at heart? Rich men are always selling poor men promises they never plan to keep. She pulls a dark red rag out of the bucket and puts it back. Then the poor get pushed out of their homes and the rich get a little richer. That's the way it goes. So no, I don't trust the fat man, and neither should you. In her mind, the union is right-wing because Evrart is fat. It's that simple and there's no changing it. She peaks with the authority of a leader. Hers is the final word around here. She is headstrong, but there's a slight hesitation in there. You may be able to convince her. Convince her to sign Everett's document. Alright, so let's put some suggestion clothes on.
Our tenant.
Damn. I wish I had come over here and failed this a couple times so we could double dip on the suggestion skill points that we had.
What can I help you with?
God damn it, we can't fucking roll anything. It's really in her best interest to listen to you. You know how the world works. Isabel, you must understand this place needs that construction project. Perhaps some financial compensation would change your mind. Wink. Sign it or I'll have the RCM turn this place upside down. We're gonna find something. Number 1. I've heard that pitch before plenty. Building this, building that, new jobs, new blood. She shakes her head in disdain. Somehow the people here always end up holding the short end of the stick. I could try to ask Evrart to pay you some money. You gotta be smart, read the fine print, think ahead, look for opportunities. And what do you think I'm doing right now, Mr. RCM? The scrub brush flies into the bucket so furiously some splashes hit your face. Tastes like soap, unsurprisingly. Do you know who takes the cream off these deals? Real estate developers, construction companies, restaurant owners, Claire's accountants in La Delta. You have some integrity. You're an officer of the law, not some fat slug's corrupt little crony. He has my gun. It's okay. She's emotional right now. Keep at it. Wear her out. Alright.
Our tenant.
72.
The policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
God damn it. Logic and reason won't work on this old bat. Better go for shameless emotional manipulation. What's her grandmother's deepest vulnerability? What's going to happen to Lillian's kids, the twins and little Lily? What do you mean, what's going to happen? They're going to grow up, of course. I raised my own kids in this village, and they're doing fine for themselves. They end up like the moribund alcoholics. Point to the drunks. You must be so proud. Are they here now? No, the old woman says, her cloudy eyes darting sideways. They moved to Farborg for work. And what do you think Lillian's kids are going to do when they grow up? Well, I imagine they'll grow up and leave too. You've got her. Now just reel her in. And then what? Then the old woman exhales. She stares at the ground, unable to finish the thought. Wait, let her come to itself. Look, this village isn't what it used to be. It's a dilapidated shithole. Say nothing. I don't believe the fat man's you send is going to change anything, but what other choice do we have? It's not like the coalition government is coming to save us. I won't be around much longer anyway, not with the dampness in my bones. She looks at her knees. If they want to take a chance, who am I to stop them? You've got to put the kids first. Nod. Did you say something? She squints at you. I said, you can start by signing these papers. I've got a pen right here. Hand her the documents. Reluctantly, she takes the pen from your hand, scribbles her name on the line, and hands everything back to you. See that you didn't just get us all screwed. I might be half blind, but I have a good memory for treachery. Lieutenant gives you a look and sighs. Let's go mail it. He's not dissatisfied with you, but with himself. About the document you signed, Evrart plans to muscle you out with construction noise. Heh, not a muscle moves in the wrinkled face. I'd like to see him try. If anything, I am going to muscle him out with construction noise. What does that even mean? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, exactly. She doesn't seem surprised by this sudden twist. Get out of here, trying to ruin my day. She raises her bony finger, and that you send her better be a good one, or you'll have trouble from me. Trouble how? I wield an army of drunks. A clever smile passes her face. Do not underestimate the effect of such a force if it's pointed in the right direction. Okay, can I still sleep in the shack, though? Can I still sleep in the shack? Hey, I'm back.
The sea's gonna calm down soon.
Time to fail.
The wind is turning southeast.
Yes!
What's on your mind, officer?
With Kim here, you think she really needs some more of that after her man died at sea? But what do I do then? What if I told you it is actually possible to go on a date sober? I'm listening. Get out of here with your crazy fringe theories. What you're suggesting is highly experimental, possibly dangerous. I'm listening. Before recorded history, men and women were able to do simple, very primitive things together sober. Acknowledge the situation and keep it basic. I'm a drunk, don't know if you've noticed, so I usually ask people to drink with me. I have, and I don't really. She hesitates. You just want to go for a walk. What kind of a monster doesn't want to go for a walk? Walks are innocent. This time, though, imitate drum roll. I thought I'd ask you for a walk. Just a walk? She feigns extreme surprise. I don't know, officer. I would not have taken you for an innocent perambulator. Perambulator? Am I saying that right? I am. Why? That's why you should definitely agree. Is that a yes, ma'am? Is the walk happening? Please come to a sober walk with me. Number 2. She's thinking, eyes mapping your rugged features. Where would this walk take us, officer? Nothing creepy, strange, or out there. Keep it airy and simple. There's a nice view on the beach I found. Point northwest. Land's End. Officer. Lieutenant has discreetly taken a few steps back. Though we had a walk of our own in mind, one that results in a solved murder investigation. Oh no, you come with us. Seriously, insist. She smiles at the lieutenant, turns back to you. Nice! You need to understand that nothing's going to happen. We're just walking, that's it, understood? Having the lieutenant along is a fail-safe measure against any possible funny business. Alright, it's a date, sort of. Smile and nod. It's gonna be weird with the three of us, let's just drop it. Alright, it's a date, sort of. Let's call it a walk. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and looks at you apologetically. I will join you if the man insists. I'm really sorry. I do, yes. A stroll on the beach sounds nice, doesn't it? She nods. Alright, I'll see the kids haven't killed each other and we'll meet at Land's End in 15 minutes. Alright, how about Lillian? You know what, Lillian? Just me and Kim are gonna go. She doesn't wait for an answer. You better get ready. New task, meet Lillian at Land's End. Was that acceptance? It feels so normal, nourishing even. Nice. It's up here, right? I think it said northwest. Okay, it's not here, or we came here too soon. Actually, because it's isometric, is this north? Or is that north? Is this north, east, south, west like that? Or is it north, east, southwest? Huh. Philosophical question. Oh damn, look at Kim, like, racing ahead of us. He wants to go on this walk so bad. Alright, she's here. How's it going, Hifumi? The woman gazes steadily at the waves. A sudden gust picks up her dark hair and lets it fall again, tousled, wild. She brushes a few stray locks from her eyes and only then spots you approaching.
Aye, so here you are.
She looks around.
I'm a bit surprised we're alone. It's mid-noon and the sun is out. I expected more drunks and teenagers. And drunk teenagers.
She's so quiet.
Know that you're not the first guy to bring a girl to Land's End. This is what locals call a makeout spot.
Oh, nice.
That is not going to happen here today. I just want to make that clear, Dimples.
She turns to face the sea once more. I don't know, once you leave, me and Kim might go at it. Across the rusty water, that's the Delta, the financial district. In the mist-covered distance, towers rise as a rebuke to the poverty of this coast. Kim, are you ready to do this? Kim, you ready to do this? Keeping a tactful distance, the lieutenant takes out his notebook, demonstrating complete disinterest in your date. Don't be fooled. He's watching you to make sure you don't act unprofessionally. Look at her. You seem surprised that I made it. She chuckles. Drinking men aren't known for keeping their appointments. I'm actually quite good at scheduling. It's a rock star thing. Tardiness. I'm sorry you had to wait. Wouldn't miss it for the world. I'm just trying to be a responsible grown-up. Wouldn't miss it for the world. The world, she laughs. Those big words men like to throw around as though they had weight. Let's just admire this piece of the world we happen to have in front of us. I? She nods to you, a playful glint in her eyes, as she turns to face the sun, reflected in the waves and the skyscrapers. Rising across the bay, you cannot help following her steady gaze. You should say something, anything, maybe the tequila sunset thing. You know, a past incarnation of myself called himself Tequila Sunset. I wonder why that is. No, keep quiet about your sordid past. It's mixed together. She narrows her eyes. It's a common Rivashalian expression. It means drinking yourself to death. There's a little pause. So, are you going to keep the name? Hell yeah, Tequila Sunset all the way. I think I'm good with Harrier Dubois these days. Harry's my name. I don't need any others. I prefer just going by my initials. It's more conspiratorial that way. Call me HDB. This is a new model of me. It'll need a new name. Who am I kidding? I'm probably going to drink myself to death, whatever name I choose. I think I'm good with Harrier Dubois these days. Well then, Officer Dubois. She nods to you, then turns toward the sunlit sea. The sun reflected in the waves and the skyscrapers rising across the bay is mesmerizing. Your mind clears for a moment as your senses take it all in. Not just the glass skyscrapers, fragile, but not that fragile, looking in the shimmering light. River Esperance flowing into the bay. Did it get brighter? Isn't it strange, she breaks the silence abruptly, for this all-powerful thing, the sun, to be so generous towards us? You know, the best time to go out fishing is usually towards sunset, when the water is warmer. The sun also falls on the Cape side tenements and war-torn ruins. An old sea fortress juts out, seemingly impervious to the sheen cast over everything else, shaking you out of your reverie. The sun does little for the dead and those hopelessly lost in their own minds, or people living in desert climates of sparse vegetation and little drinking water. Is that why you named your boat the Sun? I'm not sure desert people are too happy with too much sunlight. Let's go with number 1. Oh, that was a bit of pride and a bit of superstition. And a bit of conceptual unity, too. It being yellow and all. Okay, let's go just enjoy the view. The salt in the air and the cries of the gulls and the skuas, the grit of sand and the green glint of broken bottles, but still your gaze always returns to the dazzling streaks of light, wherever they may be reflected, their opulence. I like that word. It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side, no matter what we do or who we are, for absolutely no reason. It's unlike no other powerful being, certainly no powerful organization or government. How can that be? The sun isn't exactly an organization. There's an explanation to this. It's political. You see, begin a long, impassioned political tirade. Let's mansplain. Well, something's got to be on our side because it's not human. Humans betray you. Ooh, that's a good one. Do they? Some of them do, but she shrugs. Sounds to me like you should choose your allies better, that's all. Sure, you ought not to love ruins and hell, and the fading scent of apricots. Maybe some general remarks before you say something big. Work your way up to the cool. Say something about the sun. Alright, there's no way we can lose. You have fish hooks in your ears. These, she turns her head and they dangle. These aren't real fish hooks, silly. They're earrings shaped to look like fish hooks. A drunk called Rosemary brought them to me. I kept them. She's right. They're made mostly of plastic, a cheap novelty gift you can buy from a flower shop or a kiosk. The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the sunlit coast across the water. So when I was a kid, I think I was 8 years old, and my dad took me fishing, and I rolled two ones. I rolled snake eyes on a 97% chance when I was 8 years old. So I was casting the fishing rod, and I had done it before, I think, and my dad had showed me. And I cast the fishing line, and I don't even know how it happened because like I don't, like, in my memory I can't even remember how this occurred because it seems impossible to me. But like the line got tangled on my arm as it went out, and then from there it got tangled around my stomach, and the fishing, and it wrapped around my whole entire my torso, and then the fishing hook dug into my hip, like I caught myself. Like it was a lot of blood. Like I had to like rip the hook out of my side after I cast this fucking fishing line. Not for the first time. So there you go. I rolled snake eyes on that when I was a kid. There's an interesting lint in your voice. I completely forgot about that until just now. Holy shit. Thank you. I'm half Ubi. My mother was from Ubi Sant. Not a lot of sun there, I hear, though I've never been. The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the sunlit coast across the water. Do you wish you were out there fishing right now? I always do. I like it. It's like being on another planet, a water planet with water worries and water joys. Lieutenant makes a show of glancing at his watch and tapping his foot. So who do you think killed the hangman? Good one. I'm going to go with the rope. She thinks it was a riddle. She must not even know of that business better that way. Okay. If we roll snake eyes here, 1,000,000 off a yaya. That's the roll still. And the way that we've rolled today... Not even close. Here we go. 2 different approaches to cap this off with style. Staring to the sun, yeah. A massive thermonuclear reaction 5 billion years old. The sun is a god. The only fault with the sun is it shines on as well as our enemies. Okay, this one bothers me because I don't know what this is supposed to be. It shines on them as us. It shines on us as well as our enemies. Yeah, chat's saying that too. Okay, yeah, it has to be us. Alright, this one kind of bothers me. Alright, let's go with number 1. She nods. And a benevolent one. When did you last have one of those on your side? In my early 20s, maybe? When I had my love with me? Never. I still do. I'm righteous. Never. Well, now you have that giant thing to watch over you, so to hell with cruel God, she smiles. You know, the wind's gonna pick up soon, I have to go, but she takes her sword out of the scabbard. The blade reflects the sunlight, a dark orange. Then she hands it to you. Have this. The sun's good, but it doesn't stick things. I've no use for it anymore. What? We got a sword? Are you sure you don't need the sword? Look at it. No, the men around here are too drunk to pose a threat to me. Lieutenant looks at the sword with distrust in his eyes. Do not bring it into a gunfight, he thinks. Please understand, it's merely ceremonial. Think we do this again sometime? She smiles sadly. Doubt it, but thank you for the company. This is as far as it goes with her. You'd need to put a year between you and your last drink for anything more. Thank you for coming on this walk with me. Conclude. Farewell. She nods to you and turns to go. Nice, we got a sword. Can we hold it in our hand? Kim, I've been informed this is a makeout spot. A primo disco makeout spot. Pucker up. As she walks off As she walks off, the wind picks up and the light from the sun seems to fade. The crumbling silhouette of fell electrical ANeDe towers in the distance, beckoning. I hope this has been refreshing for you, Detective, the man says, watching her leave. Let's return to our search with a fresh pair of eyes. Equip this to impress yourself. Aw, man, we're walking around with a sword now. A sword in a plastic bag. Sword and a crowbar. Yeah. I knew we'd get to use this mailbox for something. Yes, for sending mail. Drop the white envelope into the mailbox. You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail is collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. For good or for ill, the deed is done. Let's get back to Evrart. Lieutenant turns toward the industrial harbor. This better be worth it after what we did. Okay, we came down here since we got the Van Eyck thing, right? So where are the other Van Eyck posters? I thought that would lead to something. I guess not. I do nothing behind Lieutenant Kutsuragi's back. Nothing. The only thing I would do behind Kutsuragi's back is if you wanted a back massage. That's the only thing. This is not a fishing rod, is it? It's... What? What? Huh? Oh, there we go. That was weird.
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such a relief. Titus can be a handful sometimes. Now, what can Evrart Clare do for you today?
It's done. I mailed the signatures you asked me to mail. The golden boy returns once more. Wonderful, simply wonderful, Harry. He claps his hands together like a child who's just been offered cotton candy. Of course, I already knew this. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a real future, Harry, and I feel I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kutsuragi. He nods to the lieutenant, smiling broadly. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table. Hear that? You did it the honest way. You got the real signatures, and now he's happy. Well done. I don't know. Your dirty forgery fingers aren't sure if playing this one straight was the right thing to do. We would have preferred trickery, but the choice was yours, sire, as always. You are the liege, and you're in. The signatures I got, I know you plan to force them out with the construction noise. Did you order the hangman killed? Can I get my gun now? Number 1. Harry, he shakes his head. By now you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the construction noise and limited street access makes some people consider moving, well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally enjoy a significant uptick in quality of life. I'm talking real affordable workers' palaces. He proudly spreads his hands to demonstrating the size of the palaces. They're very large. So the village is doomed, the lieutenant says grimly. You were there, you saw the place, a wasteland, there's nothing left, but mark my words, officers. He slams his fist on the table, causing some of the coffee to spill. We are going to reset it. Reset, he repeats. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal buildings and commerce. What do you mean? Harry, imagine a youth center, supermarket, church complex employing hundreds, no thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turn into low-income housing. He leans forward. Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on. Youth, supermarket, church complex? Do you really expect me to believe that? Low-income housing? If even part of this is true, then why not? And life. Nod. I knew you were a man of the people, Evrart. Yes, I do. I got the center, I got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years I'll get the church too. The wheels are already turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on. There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the state of things, and even a touch of pain. And then there will be a giant statue of him, towering above it all. Wait, will you erect a statue of yourself? I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt, 5-story building complexes, kids off speed, and landowners of Ozone hating me. This will be my statue and yours. We're doing this together. You would look nice as a statue. Sounds like you got this. You can rely on my vote. Oh, I do, Harry. I really do. He crosses his arms on his chest. I'm going to make the working man richer than Joyce Messier with that vote of yours. That's my job, just like yours is to keep the peace. Did you order the hangman killed? Order it. You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead, I would have had to do it myself, and I'm too fat for that. Why are you so fat? Glad you asked. I've got type 2 diabetes because sugar and fat was all my mother had to give me and my brother Edgar when we were kids. He wags his finger at you. Good job too, as it made me ugly, and ugly people, Harry, are much better at politics. That is true. People don't trust pretty people. What do you gain from him being dead? Why, a war, of course. And what do you have to gain from a war? Victory, Mr. Katsuragi. I have victory to gain. We're going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. Have you ever heard what 2 giant Ceres hornets can do to an entire colony of bees? They just try. I have. It's a great story, Harry. He nods. Do you also know how the bee colony kills the giant hornet? They swarm and blanket entirely until it suffers a massive heat stroke and dies. He crosses his hands contently, thinking of the interior temperature of the wasp rising. Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men or 15 men or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste. Yeah, everyone hates them, except the ultra-liberals maybe, which happens to be me. How is this connected to the strike? Harry, there is no strike, only war, class war, or in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait, he pauses to rub his chin. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines. The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often. So that's why you haven't let Joyce in? Yes, it's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her asshole. She has no chance. I can't remember him. What? Tits from her asshole. It's a local saying. Actually, no, it's not. Why are you telling me your plans? Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. He looks at the swordfish clock and nods. It's already happening. Who killed the hangman? No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, give him a big fat kiss from Evrart Clare. Couldn't have done it without him. He really doesn't know. A guy, huh? How do you know it's a guy? I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe it was the mob, or maybe he killed himself because he was a closet socialist. Truth is, I simply don't know. He really doesn't. How many of you guys are there? Your guys are there in the Union? 2,372, he replies like a whip, plus yours truly, of course. 2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol. And they're all well motivated, at least the ones you've seen. How are you going to fund your new independent harbor? Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us? Harry, we thought of everything. Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day. You can't possibly hope to continue like you have. Clients will leave en masse. Sure, some will go, but mark my words, the company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things will go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams. That's drugs! It's drugs! Drug trafficking. Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Katsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Sumerian Isola. You don't need to be a colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities. That's just the top of the iceberg, though, isn't it? God, that sounds shady. Digging it, Evrart, I have to say, I'm digging this part. The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, he makes air quotes, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarters Union, however, we're all about the large volume column. We're going to transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. His slams his fist on the desk once more, so your sick kid can get his Benefed, Sudafed, and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off Risperidol. Benefed is children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and Risperidol is used to treat severe psychosis, and the kids on the street can get speed and Pyrrolidon. I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Katsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. He smiles. He smiles again, but if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the union took a fantastic share, and I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez. He's basically admitting to it. Is Ruby helping you secure this fantastic share? Drugs are a no-go for me. I'll report this. I have to admit, that's a well-put-together plan, and far removed from you. Interesting stuff. I just want to solve this murder, okay? Harry, if I was supplying raw materials to drug manufacturers, I would need an army of rubies. Lieutenant nods slowly. Understood. I have to admit, that's a well-put-together plan, far removed from you. He smiles slyly. It's also far removed from my men and the people of Martinez who put their trust in me. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbor's turnover, just like the harbor is but a small part of Martinez. It would still be illegal, so is there a trade or isn't there? Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music, young mothers who want to start businesses, models who want to walk catwalks, and steel welders who want to weld steel. I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight. Every worker. Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it. Hold on, I don't want to look at the big picture. I want to look at the drug trade you almost admitted to. Well, I mean, if it has the word incorporate in it, then I like it. I'm a money guy. That's very ambitious. I love what you're doing for the working man. I'm not feeling a whole lot of Revachol here. Not enough flags or kings. Honestly, it's not my place to judge or express an opinion. That's number one. No, Harry, that's boring. He sighs. Alright, it's gone. The hypothetical raw materials trade is off the table. It's such a small and insignificant slice of revenue. I'm cutting it. Boys, he looks around in the container. Harry felt queasy about it. We're not doing it. Can we talk about my beautiful incorporated Martinez and its many-sided business ventures now? This bold new vision of incorporated socialism I'm offering. It's very ambitious. I love what you're doing for the working man. Thank you, Harry. Thank you. He bows courteously in his chair. You have no idea how much it means to how much it means to mean. Wow, holy shit! Because in many ways you are that working man. You already have done so much work. Can I ask you about specific union members? We're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. His eyes are shining. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry. You can bother Leonard with that. He points to the door. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. And I'm in big time mode, Harry. There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big time mode. Can I get my gun now? Harry, I've got to be honest with you. He turns solemn. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done. Fine, where is it? An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out. This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy, the one who described as terrifying. So the pale woman? So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy. Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. He smiles. He smiles, shakes his head in wonderment. Crazy stuff, Harry, selling your gun like that. Wild. Anyway, union boys are going to help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry. The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Dibadars union. Apparently she was waving it around at the entrance to her building. Oh, it's that old woman? She was waving it around at people? As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. He smiles. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt. Who is this old woman? Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs. There it is again, the Pigs, like Roy said. Not good at all. I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig. A smile flickers in the corner of his mouth. It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction. Can you set up a meeting? Conclude? I already have. He holds out his index finger. Tonight, starting at 10, near the old fish market on the coast, the one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, he claps his hand. Back to the fun stuff. She will still be there from 12 to 2. More fun stuff. He looks at you. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do. That's it for now. Conclude. Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We've united the RCM and the Debarders Union. Suddenly there's sadness in his tone. This, he points to you, then himself, has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open. A few more questions about the harbor. I'm always happy to educate and entertain you, my friend. He takes a sip from his coffee. So, what's on your mind? That's it for now. Okay, we're leaving. Do you think there's much more typos in second half of the game? That's what I've noticed, maybe because the beginning was tested more. Well, probably they did multiple playthroughs from the beginning to the end, and they're more fresh at the beginning, so they're going to see more at the beginning, and then as you play, you get more and more fatigued and more tired, so you're going to not see as many. But also the fact that the beginning is where the game is mostly the same for most people, and as you get into the game, you've made more and more choices. There's more and more different lines of dialogue that are going to show up. So like there's subtle choices in this game, right? Where the text that it displays is going to be completely different if you failed to check earlier, if you succeeded to check earlier, if you already know some information. So it's going to be harder and harder and harder as the game goes on to catch them all. So it makes sense.
Oh, hey, mister. I'm not going to bother you with a long greeting just like we talked about before. I know you're probably a busy man being an important police officer and all. And personally, I think the more people keeping the peace, the better.
Leo, you seem to know everyone around here. I want to ask about someone. Oh my god. Mr. Evrart doesn't really want me to talk to you about union guys, he thinks for a moment, but who did you want to talk about? Tell me about this Edgar guy you keep mentioning. Mr. Edgar is Mr. Everett's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does, but a very smart fellow indeed. Did we do this already? He's away on some union business, not even in Revachol, they say. All kinds of places he visits. Him and his brother both do when they're on vacation. Right now it's Mr. Everett's turn to look after the union, but last year he spent a whole winter in South Safra, he chuckles. This sounds familiar. Left with the first autumn rains and didn't come back before the trees were green again. The little guy chuckles again. South Safra, a lot of bulk chemical manufacturing going on there. A lot of cargo shipments being made too. Someone said that they didn't really notice the typos, and now that they're seeing it here, they're like, how did I not notice them? Probably because you weren't reading it out loud. Like when you read out loud, it's a lot more involved. Like that's also why I tend to make probably more mistakes than most people when they're not reading it out loud. It's a lot more difficult, and it's a lot more of a conscious effort. So you're moving along with your eyes, syllable, 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 syllable. So you're gonna catch it a lot more. And when you're reading it just in your head, it's just like it's easier just skip right over it. Have you, like most of you have probably seen that experiment where they write a sentence and every single word in the sentence is scrambled apart from the first letter and the last letter? Have you guys know about that? How you can still read it? Like it's weird, like how your brain just converts it right away. So it's that sort of thing. But when you're reading it out loud, I think it'd be more difficult. Tell me about Mañana, tell me about Measurehead, tell me about the guy in the container. Who do you mean, mister? He's rubbing his nape and looking at you with childlike innocence. You do realize he might be just a figment of your imagination, right? The fancy guy in a suit in that container over there. Point to it. I don't know anyone like this, mister. Maybe he's one of Mr. Everett's fancy friends. He knows all kinds of fancy people with suits and purdy carriages. Leo falls silent. He really feels uncomfortable discussing matter related to Evrart with you. You know what? I don't care. Sure, mister. Yeah, I don't need to know about everyone. It's fine. Wait, do you know Ruby? Was Ruby there?
I know you're probably a busy man being an important police officer and all.
The woman is still hunched over the railing, her head. Okay, so you don't have, do you have the gun? No. Probably, is it the old lady with the broom?
Give me a moment.
Ask away, policeman. Same with the man who lives at the end of the hallway, Uno de Ruder. The clean lady starts digging for something in her pockets. I don't want to talk about the Ruders, she mutters. Addicts, all of them, and sometimes I hear them screaming. She winces. They don't like me cleaning behind their door. Think I'm listening on their fights. It was dirtier there. After the janitor's closet, she avoids it. She avoids the end of the hallway. We saw unpaid utility bills. Aren't they going to be evicted? We saw unpaid utility bills. Aren't they going to be evicted? No one likes them in this building. She shakes her head. It's only because of the kid that they haven't been thrown out. I'm only talking about those people. She looks down the hallway. That's all, thanks. She mumbles some kind of response and hacks something into her handkerchief. Thanks, I'm off. So we need to wait until 10 to get our gun. So we go and talk to Ruby. Talk to Renee. Renee's dead. Renee's dead. Plus her polychromatic flyers blow by in the breeze. This is adorable. Okay, I'm gonna put something. I might get banned from Twitch for this, so I'm just going to. I'm just gonna give you guys a warning. I'm willing to take the hit for it. So just if you're at work, this is your not safe for work warning. Okay. Okay, here we go. Worth it. Worth it. Aww. This is by Q2. That ayaya though, it's an ayaya of love. Step closer. Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical, how ironic, all these dark rooms. Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first. Why do I feel like I know this place? Indeed, somehow you knew it was here, an urban ruin gutted by looters that once used to consume money and dispense warmth and light. You felt it before when it rained in Martinez, and you felt the cold of the rain. The feeling persists. It has been in you ever since. Could Ruby be in there? In there, she could, or, he points behind you, she could be in the identical ruin over there, or in that boat shack, in that church tower maybe. Why single out this one building? Shivers, impossible. Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb. What was I even attempting to do here? Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen did not, and now you're just standing there in the dusk hour with your hands fallen to your side. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it your secret repertoire? Is it in your secret repertoire, a trick for when you're out of ideas? Turn to Lieutenant. She could be anywhere. How do we find her? How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Lieutenant sighs and gets to hold himself okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. He looks north. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas in our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography at least. Maybe she's the cryptid. She's eating the locusts. And then there's the church. He looks at the bell tower. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector, go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places we can enter first, like we did in the village. And if that fails, if we don't find her, then if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that. He looks behind him as the dark red box crumbling across the chasm. Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. Listen to the wind again. Suddenly there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you with it in her breath, flowing through it. Where does it go? In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away the footprints and the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk and its winding tunnels a whisper away. What is happening? She's down there. Say, I think she's down there, below this building. Okay, why? The wind told me. We looked everywhere else. Ever since I woke up, maybe even before, I've been getting these strange cold spells. Good, yes, cold spells. He seems incredulous. So basically your hangover is telling you she's down there. Yes, I can literally talk to my hangover. That's how bad it's gotten. Call it a gut feeling. He shrugs. So how do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of the building. This building, they're gone basically. There's a ladder next to the sign. Point to them. Maybe we can climb them. Enter through the roof. Perhaps you can climb them. We're not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70. Ooh, what's this? An old pipe peeks out from beneath the rotting boards of the boardwalk. Could this be an alternative path into the Feld building? A building like this must have multiple doors serving various functions, perhaps with basement access. Come closer and look in. Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness inside the drainage pipe. Lieutenant looks over your shoulder. What's in there? At first, you can't make anything out in the darkness at all. Okay, what else? As your eyes adjust, you see some trash, crumpled up newspaper, cigarette butts. Someone has half-heartedly spray-painted skulls on the right side, and nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe. A syringe. Godly success. A very, very faint smell of stale liquor that still lingers, or is it just your imagination? Could we get into the Feld building through this pipe? Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, a grin flickers across his face. It's highly unlikely, and not without risk to our health either. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around. The lieutenant pushes aside the reeds and looks around. He means the pipe must be coming from somewhere in the building. The lieutenant's face lights up. He usually doesn't notice these little things. And it's right here, a maintenance door. He points to a rusted metal double door to the right of the pipe, obscured by the reeds. Physical instrument, heroic 15, try to pull the door apart. I believe. Yes! Yes! The metal doors are heavy and the flaking rust hurts your palms, but together with the lieutenant, you manage to slide them open just enough to squeeze in. Good work, Lieutenant nods toward the impenetrable darkness inside. Shall we? Go in. Damn. You should take out your flashlight, okay? This overturned table is covered in orange mildew crawling with something. Old filed folders in the cart, documents silvery with mold. A series of thick, dusty panes of glass. This isn't just glass, these are old computation components. These are computer components, yes, filament memories from the time when wires were cast in glass. Slides with an inlaid nervous system. How did they do that, and why? The how was a closely guarded secret, something that was locked in safes in human heads across the river where they were manufactured. As to why, your fingers don't know. The why is easy because they hadn't come up with modern silicone-based systems yet. For virtuous cast filament memories, though, these seem incredibly advanced. Hey, Kim, look, old cybernetics. Lieutenant tilts his head, watching the light glimmer on the glass. So it is. I think these used to form a single system slotted in the wall. So this is all that remains of Feld R&D? He nods. The rest of the building seems to have been picked clean. Could this be part of the Feld playback experiment? These? No, these are old filament memories. Hope you're not expecting to find that device here. You will be disappointed. All you will find here is pain. Finished thought. All right. I want to see if can we also go up the ladder. Oh, nice. We got a suggestion suit. This collapse nearly sealed the basement. One can barely squeeze by. What? Glass is covered with grime and dust. You can barely see out. Alright, so it looks like this is where it leads up to the ladder. Antiquated office furniture, last century maybe. Brought down and forgotten so long ago. I want to see how the ladder works. Okay, it kind of... oh, man. Oh, we can't do the ladder. Oh, no. No. Yes. No. God damn it. Okay. It kind of bothers me that this stuff only unlocks now that we're going on a hunch. I feel like you should be able to get in earlier. The ladder is way better. Is it? Shit. Ladder is a priceless moment. I want you to know that ladder route is funnier. The ladder was one of my favorite moments. Really? Really? Should we reload for it? No. No, we're not. We're not. We're not doing it. In the beam of the flashlight, a crevice in the wall. Mazovian socioeconomics. Still fabric, smell, and dust. No one slept here in months, maybe years. Revolutionary propaganda on the bunk bed. Ancient flyers and brochures. These pots and plates are full of dust and spiderwebs. A mustachioed and mutton chop man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. A plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait. Damn, symbolism. Brush the dust off with the portrait. Years worth of dust is shaken off. Of the full head of hair matched by an ample mustache and sideburns look a bit silly. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand, hands swept across the sand, grains sticking to the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You shudder. Look, Kim, it's Comrade Mazov. Yes, I can see that. Looks like some communists were hiding out here. They left a long time ago. Lieutenant does not seem to share your enthusiasm. A long time ago? How long? What's with all these secret weapon caches and secret bunkers? Maybe I should move in here. Seems cozy. Could it be connected to the Mazov bust we found in the students' room? Yeah, let's do that one. Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths will always go for this kind of stuff. Maybe I should move in here. Seems cozy. I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through this case. A long time ago. How long? Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. He looks around. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted. We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in run-down neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers. Could someone have stopped through here recently? Conclude. He looks at the dust. Do you mean like Ruby? No, I think we stumbled on a piece of history. The same slit window you saw from the outside. Ah! Could this have been the killer's hideout? In this narrow window, the point of origin of the shot that killed the mercenary, peek out. In the darkness, you can barely make out the falling snow. It settles, making the night still quieter. Turn to Kim. Could the killer have used this as a hideout? It's a great place to hide, and Mazovianism Mazovianism and murder are certainly not mutually exclusive, but there hasn't been anyone here in ages. Kim, I can't see the whirling in rags. The shot didn't come from here. Indeed, no one can get a clear view. Well, at least we've been thorough. I like thorough. Lieutenant's voice betrays a slight disappointment, which he glosses over by reasserting control. In fact, I think we're done with this bunker. He looks to the exit. After you, officer. Footprints in the sand. One of the souls appears more worn than the other. Oh man, I really wish we had our gun right now. It's getting louder, the buzzing sound. We're just gonna pop up through the floorboards and someone's gonna say, hardcore! A concrete pipe buried in sand and dust. Okay, so it looks like this is the way, so we should probably go back up the stairs and see what's up there. You feel something like a swarm of hornets buzzing around your scalp, a strange tingling you can almost smell. Lieutenant, do you feel something? No, what do you mean? A pain, a strange tingling, a ghost. A ghost! A pain, a strange tingling. I don't feel it, but he looks ahead beyond the arch. We should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh. Hold on, you really don't feel anything? No, but you're the sensitive one. It's not a quib. The situation is dangerous. You trust your gut feeling on this. I saw them too. Footprints with the right sole worn smooth. Looks like a suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully. What do you mean? He lowers his voice. Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over. You'll upset the balance of power, Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail. We found out Everett's plan to take the harbor. Maybe we should tell Joyce about it. We still got a date with the pigs and my gun. We checked the boy with Classia's documents. I want to hear her take on why it was empty before. How bad? Well, she's gone, right? So, okay, why not? Whatever goes down might also affect her. The Union is watching her closely now. Not closely enough, you suspect, but still good. But still, a good idea to visit her once more. We still got a date with the pigs and my gun. We absolutely cannot skip that appointment. His face is stone. Consider that 100% confirmed. I feel you need your gun for this. Okay, is this basically telling me this is the point of no return? Go and do shit before we go forward? We found out Everett's plan to take. Maybe we should tell Joyce about it. I'll leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think about cross-pollinating information like this. Is dangerous, but you just can't be sure. Maybe it will yield something. How bad do you think things could get? Well, we're not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground. He smiles in the dark. Let's try not to worry, he thinks. If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done. What do you think is waiting for us there? I think I see a cavern. The lieutenant's whisper echoes down the tunnel. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise. I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking, or maybe not. He puts his hand to his holster. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back. All right, cool. So if we end now, like we're not gonna end now. We're gonna explore the stairs, and maybe we'll go and see if we can do the gun thing. If we end now, will we have time to do everything tomorrow? We can go talk to Joyce, maybe. Will we have time to finish this tomorrow? No. What if we did 4 hours? The gust of wind, the height feels dizzying. The central support beam has been destroyed by artillery fire. Oh man, look, the ladder's broken. Did he have to jump at the end? I really want to see the ladder. God damn it, I want to see the ladder scene. I want to see it. I'm saving it. I'm saving it. We're reloading. We're seeing the ladder scene. Woo! Alright, here we go. Ladder scene. Here we go. A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing. Yeah, that doesn't look good at all. Assess the situation. The distances between the remaining runs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above ground and you're 180? 180 seems about right. 190? I'm a giant. Okay, but still, the roof is collapsing. The wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder instead. What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder? Astral projection. Be open-minded about this. What if I don't climb? What if I just teleport? Lieutenant stares at you, stone-faced. Teleportation is not a thing. Even if it isn't, no one told you. It is a thing for me. I can't remember it's not a thing. That's not how physics work. detective, and even if it were, wouldn't you need some kind of apparatus, a teleportation field, or what are they talking about? The kid behind you whispers, asking his father. Teleportation, Mikhail. It's generally thought impossible. It won't hurt to try. Oh yes, it could, a lot. He is restraining himself from using a parental tone with you right now. Save your fare. Teleport to the... What? No. Alright, we're saving it. Not that we need to. 72%. We just win. All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to do is do it. Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Bam, you find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement. I did it, Kim. I teleported. Don't gloat. Just stand there like a Samaran master. You know, for the record, you didn't teleport there. You just climbed the ladder with your eyes closed. The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear, never mind, find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring without backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here. Wow, was that worth a moon? Can you go on ahead to the end without him then? Huh. I don't know if that was worth a moon. Game-wise, you did teleport. Lazy devs invented this teleport to not animate. Yeah, probably. That's what's known as turning a limitation into a feature. A little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirp. Okay, let's go tell Joyce. Then we'll get our gun back, and then we'll... I don't know. There's one other thing we need to do, right? Oh, what? Went to the village on the coast. Officer, see you there. Joyce says no on the book. Someone's been running around with your sidearm pretending to be a police officer. You must meet her near the old fish market at 22 at 10 o'clock and get your service weapon back. Just walk past the fishing village until you see the boardwalk. Determine where the shot came from. Oh, now we have to check the island. There we go. We wasted some time. Alright, so let's go talk to Joyce, and then that should take us comfortably over 10 o'clock. She must be over here, right? Yeah, there she is. Do you have something to say about this big boat being in your harbor?
I see you haven't left our little Martinez yet. Still running around like some kind of cross-country law official.
I still have a case to solve. I guess you do. What's on your mind, Officer Harry? Oh man, good ring to it. Oh wow, you're off the boat.
I'll just keep the cordially in the channel if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
She winds the mooring line around a post.
Hi, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way.
Of course, jetty. I prefer a good jetty to appear any day. Jetty.
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing. Jetty.
Oh, jetty.
She responds mournfully.
It's good to see you here, detectives. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now. So I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
Want to go for a walk? That, and she's also keeping an eye on you. Have you been spying on us?
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the cordially red, like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White.
White. What is this? Destruction of property, hooliganism, elder abuse, and who is this scamp anyway?
No need. Lillian and I are getting on much better. For one, she appreciates the concept of rent.
How'd you like it here? Look around.
How do I like it?
She casts her gaze toward the village, slush melting on the cinder blocks, construction work left half finished 10 years ago. Water drips down eaves of eternite, the jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor, the street has no name, all the men are dead or missing, and is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
She squints her eyes. No.
I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Ooh, mistake. I have the sword. Dark eyes survey the coast, leading up to Martinez. Dull gray metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her here, unless she got a new sword.
Fortunately for you, madame. The RCM is on the scene.
Alright, politics time. Let's react. Real men, real politics, real thoughts in your head. You're right to be scared. This is all your fault. You're in no danger, Whisper. The working class have no idea what's happening to them. Try not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks. The place is doomed either way. Let's go number 2. But, oh, I got her sword. Show it. Perhaps you shouldn't have. I sort of liked it on her. She leans against the railing, looking up to the grey sky. Mistake. Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus clouds? Twisting into each other, the wind tugs and stretches them over the bay. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly but perceptibly. It's early spring and the rains are coming. An officer enters a low hut of stone and wood. Inside, weapons are piled against the walls. Rifles with splintered stocks and swords, tens if not hundreds. They're antiques, says Lieutenant John, the archetype of McCoy, to his partner. They're digging them up from the catacombs now, fixing them, old caches from the Revolution. The children carry them. Come May, the streets will be flooded. Outside, the wind rattles the loose hatches, flooded with cheap weapons in angry hands. Have I told you how they discovered this place? The wind picks up. Her raincoat flaps in the gust. This fishing village? No. The Insulidian Isola? No, you haven't told me how they found it. Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty. Oblivion? That's so me. 45% is around where I operate. Things are getting better, though. Say nothing. It's a pity. Most of these people will never know what this place means, this island of matter, or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. She corrects the scarf around her neck. For now, how can I assist you in this new location? Tell me now, we have time. Do we? He glances his watch. It doesn't look like he does. I hear you have singled out a suspect in your pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you. This story she will tell it only before she leaves Martinez. Maybe a comma there at the very end of her stay. Maybe there's something else I can assist you with while you're in hot pursuit. So I've been dealing with Evrart again. Oh, she raises her brow, and ma'am, the whole thing is a takeover. I helped him turn up the heat on the borscht. Did you now? She's intrigued, if a little confused. What sort of borscht is he making? The cook makes it to keep the strikers drunk, helps them strike. The strike brew, she nods. That's a classic, and by turn up the heat, I presume you mean put more alcohol in it. Nope, you misunderstand. I turned the knob like this, turn the heat down. Beyond curious. I will choose to interpret that as you turning the alcohol in the strike brew down, for the sake of our professional relationship. And because I don't like the idea of any of them more drunk than they already are, she nods. What else? He asked me to open a door. A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. She waves her hand. Don't answer that. No, I mean like a real door to someone's house. Oh my, a real door? Lieutenant does not say anything, but you hear the nylon of his jacket rustle as he looks at you. I helped scare someone for Mr. Clare. I scared this Gary for Mr. Clare. He got pretty scared. It was nothing. It had to be done. I got information. It was useful for the case. That's good to hear, Detective. Police work is rarely pretty, but it sounds like you did what you had to do. Her bartering mind cannot fathom that you didn't ask anything in return. Frankly, that what was done was not pretty at all, and neither was it illegal, and it was not for nothing. He turns to you. This seems serious. I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight. The Union's militant wing organized the lynching. Evrart says the Union Pines sent mercenaries. Okay, let's go with Kim. That's all I got to say. Naturally, Detective, there are lighter topics to gossip about. He asked me to deliver an envelope. Man, this whole thing is a takeover. Takeover? Yes, it's not a strike. You aren't being let in because there's nothing to negotiate. The Union is taking the terminal. He has told me so in his own words. He's taking it. He'll also use the drug trade to finance the harbor. Number 1. If they're taking it, she looked toward the colorful mountain of crates, like toy blocks rising over the Martinez. Oh, damn, look at that U there. Damn, how will Americans ever recover? Oh, man, I'm so sorry. Green livery changing into red blot by blot. Like a cancer of the blood metastasizing. Then we're talking about a war. Evrart needs to let me into the harbor at once. We need to talk about this. He's ready for war. They all are. They most certainly are not. His eyes return to you. Colonel has 1,000 men on their payroll. The next batch will be a platoon of 20 men and a gunship. I've seen the Union's forces. They're better organized than these mercenaries. They also have the support of the people of Revachol West. It will take more than Colonel to wipe them out. Wild Pines will need to send more and better equipped men. Make no mistake, ma'am. I'm sure you have the money. The question is how many years and how many lives are you willing to sacrifice? What do you suggest I do? Does it matter, or has her mind's been made up for quite while now? Wow. First, will this affect your decision-making process? It's not the RCM's job to make these decisions. The workers should have the harbor. Cut off the snake's head. Everett's pushing all this. It's a bluff. Call it. Have them open fire and see how long they last. Bring in everything you have and wipe them from the face of the earth. Look at your wrist. It's apocalypse o'clock. Time to commence the gloaming. I wish there was a disco option. I'm afraid we won't disco our way out of this one, she says with considerable regret. It's not the RCM's job to make these decisions. Of course, your job is to clean up after them, and it looks like there will be a lot of cleaning to be done in the near future. So what are you going to do? What will I do? She says, slowly looking around. Her arms fall to her sides. Her spine relaxes. The wind blows. Waves crash in the distance. She crosses her arms and asks, did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isola during our reality lowdown? You said you would one day. She nods. It may be the only break we've ever caught as a species, the last one for 400 years. The nations who colonized this Isola call theirs Mundi, the world. It was all they knew. All they thought would be that there would be something more, was a gamble, akin to another world or life after death. The Pale was thought to be impregnable, perpetual. She points northwest. Irene La Navigateur, the Queen of Surinese, sent 8 expeditions, one after the other, into the mass at the edge of the world. 5 of the crews did not return, 2 did, but had lost their minds. Each of those expeditions would have been led by an admiral. Sounds like a purge, like she was pruning political rivals. Sounds political, she nods. There was no precedent for such an undertaking. People thought she was punishing the admirals or had gone mad, or both. Until after years of trial and error and the development of a strict psychological regime imitating the creation process of poetry, called Volta du Mar, or Return from the Sea, the 8th expedition returned sane and intact. They told of a new continent of matter. They told the Queen and her counselor, Dolores Day, that the Pale had began to condense day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, slowly raining down until it formed a vast ocean. The air is cold and scented with petrichor? Petrichor? There are rain circles on water all around. Humidity crawls up your back like a piano trill. Put your hand in the rain. So does the lieutenant. His mouth is slightly open as he looks to the sky. The droplets feel warm like spring rain. This ocean? She nods. The phenomenon has never again been encountered. For a time, the crew, though, they were expecting a hallucination. Yeah, it is thought. I just corrected it. The mast hand proclaimed Le Insolende, the signal to wake up. But they could not. They were sane and conscious as islands began to appear on the horizon. There are 78,000 uninhabited islands in the Insulidian archipelago, officer. The freckled face of God, she smiles. You've thought it 1,000,000 times. Afterlife, death, after death, life again, after the world, the Pale, after the Pale, the world again. A tonal shift, she nods. In human comprehension of reality, on the second day, a great skua was shot down above the flagship Lysergic. The bird was preserved and brought back along with pollen. 4 years later, the Queen's counselor was proclaimed her innocence Dolores Day, the elected world spirit. The age of humanism, internationalism, and parliamentary rule followed. We were high, leaving us here. The great skua was the first bird they saw, the first living autonomous organism, proof of reality. It's the symbol of Insulindi detective, the coat of arms of the suzerain, and the wings on the crest of the commune. I seem to have it in for it, or for me, I broke one. In your defense, it is a nasty creature who plucks food from the throats of lesser birds, yet much like Rivachol, it is also magnificent and rare. Imagine the suzerain of seagulls leaving us here. On Callio, she studies your reaction. The Pebble, the largest of the fertile, uninhabited islands in the northeast Insulidian archipelago, 4 centuries and 2 revolutions later. You know, I just realized, I just kind of assumed that this was a post-apocalyptic Earth. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is like an alternate reality planet, where it's just like, hey, there are humans, don't ask questions. It's Disco Elysium. I just assumed that it was post-apocalyptic Earth. Like way, way, way in the future. Like thousands and thousands of years after, like, even maybe multiple apocalypses. And this was the last break we got. The nations of Mundi proceeded to discover 5 more Isolae, or they discovered us, all in the rush of the great inter-Isolary reconnection. But these others weren't uninhabited. We had to kill people there, wipe out indigenous populations, gunboat economies, or they came to do the same for us, or had done to each other. But here, she spreads her arms. There was no one but the skua, the Lilicea, and the Blood Beach, and the River Esperance. It was the new world. The Mondials used it to amass the greatest concentration of wealth mankind has ever seen. Rivachol, the suzerain. What happened? Revolution, poverty, and the mercurial rise of capitalism, she nods. It's raining. It is. She pulls the hood over her head. Soon it will be spring and everything will blossom. The gangs will run wild. The lieutenant keeps his hand in the rain, jacking motor carriages, ferrying amphetamines through Coal City. Spring is tough in Rivachol. What will you do? I will take your advice, Lieutenant Evrart. I will surrender Terminal B to the Union. What? When did we say that? Is that within your means? She puts her hand in the rain. She's silent for a second. We will see. It is well within her authority. It's been clear for some time that this woman is more than she lets on. Ma'am, this may well unravel property law this side of the river. If that occurs, we may never see the end of this kind of confrontation. The next time there will be 2 strikes. He looks forward toward the harbor, then 4, then 100. What happens will happen. She takes the end of her reins slick hand and starts untying the knot. The age of capital has only begun. I will talk to my employers in person. We will amputate and cauterize Martinez if you handle the situation on the ground. You're going now? Yes, Mr. Clare has a 2-month head start. I can't let it grow any bigger, and I've exhausted all my options from here. We? She generally avoids that term with her employers. There are no employers. She's a member of the board, probably a partner. You are the Wild Pines. There are no employers. She turns to you, rope in hand. You are the Citizens Militia. There are no superiors. What? Of course I have superiors. That's right, Detective. And next time you should confer with them before you go setting events in motion. Despite his words, he's not really sure whether to be annoyed with you or not. Events are already in motion. Whether your actions accelerated or momentarily retarded their progress, even the lieutenant cannot really say. Even after all this time, I still don't really understand who you are or what your angle is. I answer for my own actions. I don't hide behind some faceless organization. I have not deceived you. I told you exactly who I was. Joyce Layton. Understood. Let her go.
Keep the peace, and I will keep my end of the bargain.
How far along is Cronell's investigation?
A confrontation is imminent. They have followed in your footsteps. As your investigation reaches a climax, so does theirs. They are your shadow. Arm yourselves. Armor yourselves. Protect their targets. Violence may be unavoidable, but we can limit the casualties.
When will they make their move? Where?
Soon. I do not know precisely. They have cut off all communication, you see. They know I've been feeding you information. One last thing, Lieutenant Dubois. I've given the matter much thought and come to this conclusion. You're not an amnesiac. You're insane. I know because I too am insane. I just hide my illness better. And I'm rich.
Isn't everybody a little insane?
No, Detective. No one's as insane as you.
Oh man, disco as fuck.
Don't worry, madame. I am very sane.
You're over-radiated?
I'm overexposed, baby. My travels take me through the Pale dozens of times a year. I've got the longing, and I've got it bad.
She points to her heart. She would die to return to it, the Pale, the past, anything one can return to. How do you keep it together?
The same strict psychological regimen the 8th Admiral developed when he crossed the Pale and discovered this isola, the Volta de Mar. It's used by inter-isolary travelers and other troubled souls, even to this day.
You could use a little bit yourself. Goodbye, nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. Goodbye, Joyce L. Messier. Goodbye, Joyce Layton.
Watch out for yourselves. They will strike soon.
Lieutenant watches her boat grow smaller on the bay. Its white sails fluttering. With worry in his eyes, he does not know if it was the right thing to do, but he doesn't say anything. You wonder what Evrart has to say about this. Slowly, the sails turn gray-blue as more oxygen gets between you. Okay, so what do we drop for the Insludian miracle? You are reminded of a poem somewhere deep inside you, the translation of which you don't remember. Nulla Sara cambiato della luz, it begins. Colori com Grigio el maron, tutti stam pati uno sol al altro. Troive un ovuto, uno macchia bianca, gli altri Guardarano, Ciel bella giornata, ci bel tempo, ma senti la rotativa. You were reminded of it when you heard about the discovery of Insulendi, but what does it mean and how do you know it by heart? This is a bad thought? Really? Okay, we'll leave it then. I believe you. When has chat ever steered me wrong before? Alright, let's go get our gun back. Did Joyce tell you about the pill already? Oh yeah, a long time ago. Yeah. Okay, so I kind of want to like spend all my points on shit, but I don't know what to spend it on. Like, I don't want to reload to try checks again, but I wish I knew what the checks were going to be. Like maybe like we're really low on hand-eye coordination. Like our clothes matter quite a lot. I have a feeling this is going to be like a confrontation with like a gang, and it's going to be like, hey, give me my fucking gun back. There might be a fight. Like authority's probably going to come in handy. Hand-eye coordination, but like usually there's like a wacky option like logic or something, right? I don't know. Maybe we should just go and see what happens. Fuck it. Let's see what happens. Whoa. Okay, so we're over time. I think we're gonna get our gun back, and then we're gonna stop, and then we'll play tomorrow for as long as it takes. But we'll get our We'll get our gun back and then we'll stop today. You can put points into skills during conversations. Can you really? Okay, that'll help us then. That'll help us. Okay, so real quick, who do you guys like better, Evrart or Joyce? Because I was expecting to hate one of them strongly, and I kind of feel like I don't hate either of them. Like I feel like Joyce is much friendlier and more honest, but also is doing more harm, whereas Evrart is a lot more abrasive and a real, like, ironic asshole, but really does want what's best for a lot of the people there. Like, I don't think that's an act. I really do think he wants what's best. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. Who do you like better? Do you ever get the feeling that video game characters tend to be too young to be relatable? And if yes, does it feel refreshing for disco characters to be in their mid-40s? Yeah, probably. I would say that video game characters tend to be on the younger side. I'm not sure, though. Definitely in most RPGs, JRPGs specifically. I'm not sure. That's an interesting question. I have to think about it. Or I wouldn't have to think about it. I would have to look at lots and lots of games. You can't put points into during conversations anymore. They patched it out. Oh man, that sucks. All right, so people seem to like Joyce better than Evrart, which is what I expected. Interesting. Okay, but it's not a landslide. Interesting. Okay.
Put your hands where I can see them.
The aging woman under a mountain of police paraphernalia mumbles to herself, then notices you and reaches for the megaphone.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands right now!
Scavenge battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
What should we do, Kim? Raise your hands. The saber is only decorative. It's not a threat to you.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer under duress. Officer under duress. I am the police. Don't move. Don't move! Hands on your head! Suspect is armed and dangerous!
I'm not moving.
Suspect is on the loose! Suspect at large! Officer administers street justice at her own peril! That one extra lick with a baton or extra knee strike above what was actually required! Suspect is under control! Suspect is under control!
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
The situation looks bad. Calm yourself. Steady your breathing. All right, where's the check to just wildly lunge at her? Wildly lunge. Yes! Yes! You jerk left, dash right, close the distance, and cut her hand off. Ready? No, that won't be necessary. Look closer at the gun. All three barrels, red and blue light shining through. It's not loaded. Whisper Kim. I'm almost certain there are no bullets in that gun. My god, it's not loaded. The gun isn't loaded, ma'am. The weapon you're holding is mine, and I know it has no bullets. Go ahead. Pull the trigger. I dare you. Suicide by cop. Split-second decision. Eat lead, scumbag. Half-light. Failure. Oh my god. God, your partner exhales loudly and uses his offhand to wipe his forehead. I almost blew her head off. What is this? The old woman looks at the treacherous weapon. This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. The gun lands on the wooden planks and tears run down her scratched cheeks. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this? Grab the gun right now. This might be your only chance. Pick up the gun. I'm done with this gun. Leave it behind forever. Pick up your gun. No one ever cares anymore. Her voice is growing fainter as she rocks back and forth slowly. Why would they cheat me like this? This limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is grinding to a halt. Tired of walking the desert, it doesn't want to feel or think anymore. Poor woman. Lieutenant holsters his pistol. We need to figure out what to do with her now. Nobody's ever around. The old woman mumbles, staring blank at the boardwalk. Nobody ever comes to visit me. I'm very sorry. This is how life turned out for you. Gently touch her shoulder. You tried to kill me. What do you think is happening to her? Should we arrest her? Number 1. Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there. What do you think is happening to her? She's in stupor, the lieutenant replies, inspecting the catatonic woman standing in the dark. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. But why was she like this in the first place? Honestly, I don't know. Dementia probably. He lowers his voice. Dementia and Channel 8 and loneliness. Nod. Neurodegenerative disease. Yes, this is what happens when you listen to too many cop shows on the radio. You're probably right. Nod. Loneliness. Number 1. Could be. He agrees, Lieutenant. Her hands were trembling, but she did seem uncoordinated. Sorry, and she did seem uncoordinated, but what are we going to do with her? Should we just arrest her or proceed? I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state and without the gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. Wait, I was really hoping I can give her one of those station call slips. Yeah, Titus sounds like the man for the job. I don't want to endorse the Hardie Boys' inflated sense of self-worth. They're not cops. We are. I think we can just leave her like this. She'll be fine. Yeah, Titus sounds like the man for the job. Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling, but we have to hurry because it's late and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done. As you turn to leave, the faintest of voices comes from the woman. Please leave the radio on, she mutters. It seems like a reflex, a half-remembered sentence. Reflex to what? Being left alone? She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and flashers now. Maybe if you search her once more? Nice! We have a gun and a sword! Equip this when times are most dire. A 3-shot revolving barrel. Villiers La Salle pepper box, typically assigned to officers in the RCM upon reaching the rank of sergeant. The butt of the gun is worn and the engraving on the side reads Sunrise Parabellum. This is your gun, no doubt about it. Is there a way to interact with it? 2 bullets. Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm, the polished wooden handle almost fusing into your palm. I think my hand recognizes it. It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it. In vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. It was so long ago. A Villiers 9mm pistol, where Insulidian steel meets Revacholian craftsmanship. With it thou wilt protect the fair people of thine homeland and keep the visitors at check. The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? Pick up the RCM cap. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Oh, is that yours? It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours. I think so. Maybe. Probably. You know me. Lieutenant nods. It's your hat. Shake her shoulder. The old woman doesn't react to your touch. Leave her be. Authority. Damn. Okay, let's go do Titus. And I think that's everything that we had to do before we go to the last area mocked up, right? Are there secret set bonuses in this game if you have, like, if you're dressed up as a full cop?
The Copper-nado is back. What do you want?
There's this old catatonic lady in the old fish market on the other side of the bay. She needs help. Big man laughs, nearly spitting out his beer. What's that, Copper? You want us to help the little old ladies now? You're local law enforcement, aren't you? The lieutenant looks Titus in the eye. Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction. Yeah, we'll send someone out who is... Wait, it's the pigs, isn't it? Yep, her. He pushes up his cap. God, poor lady. Don't worry, we'll handle this. I think she's got some family in Coron or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints. Hey, Eugene interjects. Wasn't Evrart's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something? Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. Titus gives him a beer salute and turns to you. She have something of yours, pig? Whatever you do not admit to these punks you lost your gun. You will suffer if you do. Nope, she didn't have anything in mind. No? Well, whatever then, Copper. Titus chugs his beer down and wipes his mouth. No, they totally said it was. What was it? He's still thinking it over in the corner. Anyone remember? That tattooed man scratches his head with his knuckles. I don't remember. I was fucking drunk. Let me know if you figure it out back there, the big man says, turning to you. Now, anything else I can help you with? What's her name? Her real name. He takes off his cap and scratches his head. Auntie LaPlante. Auntie LaPlante, we always call her. Something LaPlante? Mañana, amigo, he says, pouring himself another drink. Mañana, amigo LaPlante. Fuck you, pig, he stands. What the fuck you playing at, huh? Easy, Al, the man says soothingly. Don't let him get to you. Have one for Auntie LaPlante, huh? Don't disrespect Miss LaPlante, Copper. The big man finishes off a can. She's good people. We all get a little crazy sometimes. Who was she? Was, like before, just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago, never come to visit, never took her call. She gets out every now and then. He swirls his beer. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off, but still, as kids, that must have been ages ago. She was better then. The children kept her together. How did she get like this? Get wanting to be a cop, you mean? Well, he furrows his brow and thought, shit, I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig? No fucking clue, the tattooed man shouts. It's gotta be crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? Someone who wanted to set the world right before it ends. Ever think of that? More like who wouldn't? Cool uniforms, fast machines, packing heat, sign me up. Law enforcement is a respectable occupation, sir. I can't help but feel partially responsible for the unhealthy culture that poor one latched onto. I'm sorry. The tattooed Misc sinks into his seat, unsure how to respond. Yeah, you should be. quickly. The big man shrugs. Whatever, cop. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of our own. Where'd you get all her cop gear? Dunno, Titus says, shrugging. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach. Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it. Station 41, a man carries a crate of rusted, unused badges. You think they would notice something at an annual auction? A balding detective drags a comb futilely across his head. Shit, who'd want those? Just dump them into the river. Thanks for helping me with this one, Titus. No problemo, cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys? Sure enough, Eugene raises his glass and toast. We're the real heroes on the streets. Damn. Even better than Canada and America. Okay, so are we done? I think we've done everything, right? Determine where the shot came from. I'm guessing that we get to the island after we talk to Ruby. Look for Ruby on the coast. We know where that is. Union and cryptozoology business might end when you do. Cryptozoology? But we did that. Do we just keep checking? Huh. Is Joe the sober cop? Yeah, we're sober cop. We're sober cop. Alright, so I guess we'll start tomorrow talking to Evrart and see, and then we'll do a last check of the phasmids, and then we'll continue, and we'll play the game tomorrow until we finish it, unless it's like 8 hours long. If it's 8 hours long, then we're not doing it. I don't know what we're going to do, but there's no streams next week. Put on a full cop suit. Do we have a full cop suit? What if we put on like full this crap? Full thought bonuses. Whoa. The hat is so soft, so warm, it wraps around your head and your mind tingles with all manner of socioeconomic theory. This is an Ushanka, right? Pat the hat. Kraz Mazhov would have worn this Ushanka. Mazhov knew where to cook those thoughts. That's why it bears a Mazavian logo. Glory to the revolution, comrade. Whether you like it or not, wearing this hat has made you more communist. Oh, man. Just like reading my chat. With the luxury of fine things, just look at those black monk straps. What's going on down here? After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes on your tired feet? You're right. Beautiful things do make people happy. Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power, crafting your style, draping your flesh in silk and leather, deciding how to present yourself to the world. Remember when they come to take it away from you? You worked for those shoes. Whether you like it or not, wearing these shoes has made you more liberal, ultra liberal. They're either a gateway drug or a booster pack to get you deeper into free market ideology. It's funny. Okay, so what's our full? Okay, so our neat office shades? No. Oversized superstar glasses. RCM patrol cloak. RCM hat. Do we have a shirt for the RCM? Ooh, that's the commander's jacket. Why are these orange? Nah, I don't think we have enough to have like a full set of cop stuff. I'm sure there must be though for some of them. Like, it's this game. There's no way there's not. Wow, this jacket makes you feel strong, as if your blood is mixing with that of the venerable Philippine loyalists of old. Mixing. Does my blood need mixing, or is it good as it is? Oops, I didn't mean to wear this nationalist jacket. Apologies, you're right. The need for a strong central government has always been clear to you. You're a true patriot, Revachol, born to do it. It's time to clean up the streets and restore the city to its former glory. Whether you like it or not, this jacket gives you serious nationalist cred. Damn. No armor pieces. We only got one. Okay, I think we're done. So tomorrow we'll see if we can clean up some stuff real quick, and then we'll continue with the story, and then we'll probably do a long stream tomorrow. So that's it. Oh, all right. Thank you very much, everybody. So we'll be done with Disco Elysium tomorrow. End of an era. End of an era. See you guys later. Hope you have a good rest of your day.